No, probably not. Oh, by the way, what's happening with him? I saw something.
We'll talk about that after. We're streaming now. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can ask David in the real life chat.
I will do that at some point. It's just been kind of chaos.
Sure. Anyways, hi, it's Ross Payton with Roleplay Public Radio. This is an actual play of Delta Green. The scenario is called Darkfield, which is a scenario I wrote. And this is a scenario that will be posted to the RPPR Patreon tomorrow for patrons at the $5 level and higher. So you can, if you like this scenario, you can play it, and you get a lot of cool stuff. This is actually the fourth of the scenarios that I have posted on here. I also have early access to episodes and bonus exclusive video podcasts now. There's a lot of cool stuff here. But this scenario in particular is written for started out in Cthulhu Eternal, which is a OGL percentile system similar to Delta Green. In fact, that has lethality rules. I'm using Delta Green for it, but the stat blocks for for various characters in the scenario, you squint at them, you can run them in DG. So keep that in mind. But yeah, this is a 7,500 word scenario, and let's get into it. So yeah, all of you have been members of the program, Delta Green agents, and you have all been called in to a briefing room. And Dan, I can hear your spoon.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I have a cup of coffee too, but yeah. Can you mute yourself there, Dan?
Sorry, what?
Can you mute yourself? I can hear your spoon.
Oh, I muted on the wrong.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you look at the Discord and mute it. Go, that's done.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, end of gumbo reached. We're safe.
All right. So all of you are Delta Green agents. You are all members of the program. You've been called into a briefing room at a secure facility outside of St. Louis, or in St. Louis, Missouri, but you're all in a windowless, secure conference room. So we'll just go in top of order here. So, Trucy, tell us about your agent, Leslie Bale.
Leslie Bale, a member of the FBI Criminal Investigative Division.
All right.
20 years old, man. Short blonde hair. He looks quite nervous.
Mm-hmm.
It's his first night at the opera.
Ooh, first time. All right, great, love it. Then next up we have Scribbly. Please tell us about Dr. Royalty.
Dr. Royalty is a person deeply in educational debt because he has so many degrees, and Delta Green plucked him up on that basis because they're supporting the private hospital he's a part of, and he's 33 years old. A real hustler, in other words, since he has several degrees. And some of those degrees are quite useful for Delta Green, what with being focused towards psychiatry, surgery, stuff that tends to, he's heard some stuff, and he's also been on missions because he was close. And though so far yet, he's not quite seen the elephant per se, just the weirdness associated around it, at least that he knows of.
All right. And then next up we have Dan from Technical Difficulties Podcast.
Hi.
Please tell us about Carl Watson.
Today I'm playing Carl Watson, a media specialist. He's a freelance journalist that has helped the program because it was in his best interest to obscure things instead of report them. But he's also a pretty good investigator. So they kind of keep him looped in because they know that if it's really bad, he'll suppress it.
Great. Writing those cover stories, swamp gas and weather balloons and all that jazz.
He tries to expand that envelope of what's plausible, and these days, sadly, more things are plausibly believable.
Yeah. Media specialist, disinformation agent. Tomato. It's all good. And then finally, weird. Please tell us about Agent Dudgeon.
Yeah, so Agent Dudgeon, I look at this. It says he's in perfect health and he's stoic. So he's got to be fairly new to this. So he's in the program. He's definitely been read into the program, but it's like minimal effort. Like he thinks he's seen the elephant, but really it's like if someone showed him the Hello Kitty folder for half a second and then yanked it away again. He thinks he knows what's out there, but he does not.
Is he a federal agent?
Yeah, he's a federal agent.
All right.
So I'm gonna say he has a Glock, and he's computer science powers. He's kind of across. You said investigator character. He's kind of investigatory, I think, but he's spread amongst many things. The way they do with pre-gens, which you would never do with probably never do with non pre-gen, but it's into one shot, so it should be fun.
All right. So all of you are again in this windowless conference room. And you may or may not know of each other, probably not. And a tired middle-aged woman comes in, bags under her eyes. She looks like she hasn't slept much lately, and she reads you all. This is a secure. This is a confidential briefing. You're not to disclose any information you get. This is considered, kind of reading you a very thorough. Warning that this is some top secret spy shit. So I have not done my research on how those kind of meetings start, but you could fill in the blanks. And she then hands you all a piece of paper, which I will read aloud. And this is also posted at the RPPR game chat. And I will flip to this. This is the Darkfield memo. So she reads it, and this document was found as we were reviewing information from a predecessor top secret research program. And this information is very disturbing. We could not find any of the personnel who worked on this. They are deceased or out or missing. But preliminary scan of the information seems this is not this is a very troubling memo. And it was written by a top secret program over 20 years ago, and now we need you to verify to see if this document, if what this document is purporting is real or not, and if it is, you need to deal with it. So I will read the Darkfield memo. Darkfield, a category of land used to describe any environment contaminated by redacted pollution, compared to brownfield land, a term used to describe land contaminated with conventional pollution from industrial usage. Darkfield land is polluted from a long history of negative psychic residue and other forms of redacted that poisons the land for an indefinite period. Example case: the land around Coles and Brigg Junkyard at Redacted is a dark field. No permanent housing should be built within 2 miles of it. It has a dark and troubled history with numerous murders and other atrocities performed on the site. Request Addendum 1Z for more information on its history. We have confirmed that Redacted, henceforth designated as Entity 1, is in hibernation somewhere on site at the junkyard. Source of contamination. Entity 1 is a psychic parasite that gains strength from pain, fear, and suffering from humans. It is a large humanoid creature that grows in size as it feeds. It has its own psychic capabilities, including a sensory aversion field designated Tarnhelm that causes humans to unconsciously ignore its presence, a form of psychic invisibility. This field does not affect cameras and other technological devices. We do not know what other abilities Entity 1 has, but assume it is dangerous and hostile. Weakness of Entity 1. Some victims of Entity 1 manifest organic growths, dubbed nerve clusters by researchers. A nerve cluster is a fist-sized, tear-shaped, leathery growth, usually attached to the base of the neck or chest of a victim. We do not know the purpose of the nerve cluster, but we have discovered that the nerve cluster can be surgically excised from a victim without harm, assuming the victim is sedated or restrained. Nerve clusters are filled with black blood. This substance is extremely poisonous to both humans and the entity. Operatives who need to fight Entity 1 are encouraged to extract black blood from nerve clusters and develop weapons based on it. If housing is based is built near this Darkfield, Entity 1 could awaken and prey upon the residents. Signs of activity include psychotic and unstable behavior by residents, violence, and reports of strange animals sighted in the area. Entities 1's presence is associated with strange creatures that appear to resemble dogs, birds, and rats at a distance, but upon closer inspection have an unnatural and deformed appearance. These animals should be considered hostile and allied to Entity 1. Entity 1 awakens, operatives should acquire black blood to create weapons to neutralize Entity 1. We believe it is highly territorial. This can be used to the advantage of operatives by threatening territory in order to lure it out of hiding. Cameras are essential to detect it. Once it is located, weapons made with black blood should be used to neutralize it. After Entity 1 is neutralized, contact Redacted for mission support and cleanup operations. Many of the Redacteds we do not know, but we do know the location of the Coles and Brigg junkyard that is located on the outskirts of LaFontaine, Missouri, and a mid-sized city of approximately 200,000 people. And within the last 10 years, a development has been built within 2 miles of this abandoned junkyard. The junkyard went out of business in 1975 when its owner, Jonathan Briggs, was arrested for multiple counts of murder, and the city never cleaned up the site. It was abandoned. So that is what we know. We would like you to conduct surveillance of this street, the development nearest Coles and Brigg junkyard, to determine if this report is accurate. And if it is accurate, report back, and then we will allocate more resources so the entity can be neutralized. Any questions? Agent Bale, do you have any questions?
Could we use just the drones to scan the area with cameras if the entity is invisible only to a naked eye?
We only have this document. We do not have any other documentation on this. This is an executive summary, so there should be like a 500-page detailed report that explains this all in more detail, but that is missing. One we have is a single page of information. So that's why we want you to go out in the field to find out if any of it is true. All we've been able to verify is that there is a Coles and Brigg junkyard at LaFontaine, Missouri, and a development was built within 10 years around it. Cursory examination does, yeah. Let's see here. I think maybe more likely. Where should be for so we don't know. That's what your job is. So if there are strange creatures, document them and report back. So Dr.
Okay,
Royal, Carl.
Go ahead. So do not engage, just document what's going on there.
Well, at this point, if you do find out that if this report is accurate, this entity is clearly an unnatural vector and should be neutralized.
Using black blood.
Once you confirm if this report is accurate, report back to me and I'll allocate more resources for you to deal with it.
Okay.
So, but first we have to find out if this is full of shit or not.
Right.
And obviously, if you were attacked, you have permission to defend yourself.
Well, yeah.
I find a number of things curious about this memo.
Mm-hmm.
The addendum that's missing would have been very nice to have, but it says Entity 1. There is no reference to an Entity 2, but when you call something Entity 1, either it's a procedural thing, like they always in these reports call them Entity 1, or there could be more entities involved.
It's procedural.
I
hope it's procedural.
I believe it is proceed. I can't tell you based on the research we have done on this. Based on the research we've done on this prior organization, which has been disbanded, is that was a procedural term, that i.e. the first unnatural thing that they encountered, they would call Entity 1, and then the next one would be called Entity 2, and so on and so forth.
It could also be that those offshoot things that look like dogs, whatever, could
Yeah.
be
Are-
the subsequent entities that's covered in the. Let's
Or-
hope that's the case.
or
Otherwise,
the affected
Yeah.
humans with nerve clusters that produce poison that is poisonous to this creatures. That's another assumption that I'm curious about here. Why would this entity generate its own weakness? I am
Well, I had a thought.
entirely natural, but
I was wondering if maybe that's a waste product that it makes,
perhaps if we assume
or else it's capable of
psychic.
making, of making its own weapon. But its weapon is so effective it can work on it too, as long as if the fluid is outside of some special sac or something.
Yeah, that is true. Again, we are missing a lot of documentation on this, and I've not been able to find anyone alive who could answer questions, who knows about this document.
Have you done any kind of research on the apartments near this place that have been built?
It is a suburban neighborhood, houses. There is in particular one street with actually I can show you another thing. Let's see here. Actually, I can't. I did find a stock photo of a drone shot of a suburban street. Like, that's your map. But I need to export that map. Map. All right. I'll have to Photoshop this because I have to crop out the other shit. Actually, wait, no, I can delete this. All right. And then export it. Darkfield. All right. Yeah. All right. I have InDesign open on another window, and you can. All right. Let's see if this works. Cool. Yeah, here we go. The numbers are not on your thing. They're just, if you want to tell me what house you want to go to. But this is what the street looks like from a Google Maps satellite photo. This is the closest. This is the closest habitation built within 2 miles. The only habitation built within 2 miles of the junkyard.
Which houses are closest to the site?
The ones on the right, 2, 4, 6, 8. So
even bad. Got it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but this whole street is within the 2 mile no-go zone, apparently. So
okay, all of them bad. Got it.
Yeah, this entire street is suspect. So if that makes sense. Yeah.
Are there any sport fields or parks or anything else that's used like that right next to it?
No, this is basically like this is like this was a mid-sized town, and this is like it was just unincorporated land. It was just like not even like developed or farmed or anything else. It was just like this is the outskirts, and now the city's built up enough that they're starting to sprawl out in that direction.
I'm just saying, if there was a playground next to it, that would be worse. So thank goodness.
Yeah, you can do research before you go. Like you could research the history of the junkyard. You could research crime reports. Your handler, Agent Smith, Handler Smith, has not done any research. She hasn't been entirely focused on seeing if she can pull up internal documentation about this Darkfield research project. And
this is no scam. This is no.
She can't verify this came from a classified government program that was stopped over 20 years ago and was full of misguided attempts to weaponize and the unnatural.
Well, that would explain why it generates its own poison, as it were.
Well, she's saying she doesn't know if this entity was created by the prior program, or if it was a phenomena that they encountered and studied,
or maybe encountered and changed.
Yeah, that's
the
that's
timeline. And the timeline here is this agency became defunct over 20 years ago.
All of you can make a bureaucracy check. All of you can make a bureaucracy check to read between the lines of what she's saying about this thing. And if you have any points in unnatural, you get a +20 on this research or bureaucracy check.
Now I have to decide whether you actually, if I'm going to take those 5 or not.
Yeah.
Is it-
Yeah.
This is-
The
it's-
application did not respond.
Yeah.
Is it slash
It's slash
roll-
R and then space
R?
and
That
then
was it.
type in 1D 100.
There we go.
Trying
Dice
again.
parser says no.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I failed.
Both of you failed?
All three
Me,
of us?
but I'm gonna reroll. This
Okay.
first one didn't go through.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 out of 10. So nope. Close, but no.
Yeah, you don't have any bureaucracy, yeah.
37 out of 60. I made mine.
Okay, all right.
I have 87 out
good.
of 50.
So Agent Bale, what you realize is your handler's talking about Majestic 12. This is a Majestic 12 research project, and Majestic 12 were the reason why none of those researchers probably around is probably because Delta Green shot all of them, or they were killed by their own experiments. Like they were doing some heinous shit, and when Delta Green took over, basically had a hostile takeover in 2001. And shot all the people that didn't line up with the new regime. And so, this is part of their digging through old Majestic 12.
At least those that didn't get to March technologies, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The answer to the question, why doesn't the government try to exploit this? I mean, maybe they still are, but why aren't they trying more? Because they already tried, and it kept failing so much. Eventually, even they figured it out.
Bale also realized there are parts of the program that want to think that monetizing or weaponizing the unnatural is a good idea, and so maybe they're scouting this for potential utilization. You're not sure what your handler is in. You're not sure who's going to do this, but yeah, this is something in their own backyard that could be really bad. So they want you to fucking deal with it. So. But before you go to LaFontaine, Missouri, you can do research checks of various kinds to look up the history of this junkyard. Apparently, the last owner was executed for murder, multiple counts, 6 murders.
Last owner of the junkyard, correct?
Yeah. Jonathan Briggs, the last known owner of Coles and Briggs Junkyard. And that was in 1970. He was arrested in 1975, executed in 1978. That's
fast.
Yeah. Actually, no. Yeah, it would probably be more like 1981. Yeah.
Still fast, but okay.
Yeah. I think I know what Dr. Royalty is doing, because this thing seems empowered by human misery. And boy, do we have things in the medicine that can deal with human misery if we just prepare with pharmacy.
Okay. Making some custom concoctions, I guess.
Sedatives, anti-anxiety medicines.
Or
just filling some prescriptions.
All right.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You'll have a really good kit. That you don't have to make a skill roll for that. But you can raid some pharmacies and get a war chest of various drugs for all kinds of mood alterations. So that's
boy
fun.
Howdy, if anyone put all of these prescriptions together, that would look sus as hell.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun mission.
Yeah.
Good thing that's all for different made up patients.
Yeah. That'll take you some time, but you can do that with the others' research. So, Agent Dudgeon, do you want to do any research or prep work before you drive down to LaFontaine? It's about 3 hours away from St. Louis.
Yeah. Stuck on what?
Two obvious angles are researching the history of the junkyard, or the what's been going on, or researching the neighborhood itself, like what's happening on that street. You could look up crime reports. You could dig up who lives there. Just basic ass like ownership or who, things like that. Or if there have been any, you could do a cult if you want to research if there's any urban legends or rumors or gossip or ghost stories about the area. Those are three angles that are pretty obvious.
How do I make computer science work?
Computer science, You could access the internet. You could try and access the ISP in that area and use that to do network traffic sniffing. Analysis of the
traffic
people.
analysis of the area. That sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Basically, what are the people? What are the people who live there doing on the internet? Like,
I didn't make it anyway. Oh,
you're unable to geolocate them. You're in. Yeah. There's a. Yeah. All right. So you're spending time doing that and not getting anywhere.
There isn't.
Or no, Carl.
Carl.
Yeah, Carl. What do you want to do?
Oh, that's me. All right. So I've got options between, I don't know, journalism, history, criminology, occult. Those seem to be the most applicable. Which sounds.
Can I make an additional suggestion? Since you are our media specialist, we do need cameras to see this thing.
You have cameras. You don't have to make a roll for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want
buy
something
cameras at the store, it's
if you want like something like government issue, like
that ain't me.
Yeah. But yeah, you can just kind of hang out and what do you want to research? But yeah, you have like civilian level cameras, which are very good. You'll
good
have
enough for this.
Yeah. Because you can get like action cameras, i.e. little GoPros. You can also get trail cameras, which are motion activated.
That's one of we want both of those probably.
Yeah.
You want the GoPro so you can be looking at the at the monitor. The motion activated, so you
don't have to make a roll for that.
So I don't know. Journalism, find out what's in, what has been written about this place.
Sure. Yeah, make a roll. Excuse me.
Well, that's a 65 out of 60. I'm doing great.
That's not that bad. So, I'll say for free, you do get up the stuff about Jonathan Briggs. He was the son of the founder. Jonathan Briggs was the son of Ernest Briggs, one of the co-founders of Cole and Briggs Junkyard. Jonathan Briggs inherited the junkyard after his father bought out his partner, but kept the name out of respect. And Jonathan was then in 1975 pulled over a routine traffic stop, and the police officer noted a bloody handprint on the trunk of the car. A quick search found a woman's corpse in the trunk and arrested Briggs. A search of the junkyard found 5 other bodies who are all determined to be hitchhikers passing through the area. Let's see here. And Briggs was quickly refused a plea bargain for life imprisonment and received a death sentence after a quick trial. As he could not offer much in evidence. He never talked about it. But shortly before his execution, a follow-up news story mentioned that his cellmates talked about hearing him at night begging the devil for help. He was talking to himself in his sleep. And the junkyard was abandoned, and the city never allocated funds to clear the ground. So there's just been 40 or 50-year-old car wrecks rusting, and it's probably been turned into a dump site, you would guess, for all kinds of,
Honestly, there could well be people living there.
That is certainly a possibility, but you failed your check, so you don't know for sure.
Yep.
Do you want to, but that's all that, so you all, do a little bit of preliminary work, pack your go bags, and need to head down to LaFontaine. You need to go on site. So
I would like to roll.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Bale. Yeah. Well, what do you want to do, Agent Bale?
I want to pull out a report if there was any violent activity in the new built houses.
Okay. That would be criminology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or public records.
Bureaucracy or criminology would pull up that. Yeah.
Okay, I got 41, so I passed both bureaucracy and criminology.
You made both? Okay.
Yep.
So looking at the current records, the accessing, with your access as an FBI agent, you're able to get more stuff, and basically reading between the lines of 911 reports and calls in the area and that kind of thing, that this is an area that there are a lot of reports, nothing huge, noise disturbances, stray dogs. Let's see, they're like delivery drivers often are calling into animal control. And there are occasional 911 reports. A couple of months there was a lot of reports for gunfire, but they were unable to locate the shooter, and no injured reports. And this is what you can read between the lines. This is an area that the local emergency responders are avoiding, or sort of like ignoring calls from the area. But the number of calls from this area or about this area are dwindling. So you're thinking people are just ignoring stuff that they used to not ignore, and it's getting worse. So yeah, this is it's yeah, judging from these reports, this is the like, oh god, it's that street again. Yeah.
Another false call, probably.
Yeah, but lots of minor things, especially from delivery drivers, who are calling things in, and the local responders are kind of learning to ignore it, or just not. They don't want to deal with it. They don't like this place, and yeah, definitely a stray dog problem.
So, yeah, time to go.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, I would like to amend and add a surgery kit and sedatives to my pickups.
Yeah, you have that. That's pretty easy for someone with your credentials to get. So you all drive down to La Fontaine. Do you want to set up in a hotel or get an Airbnb, or like what's up?
Do they offer an Airbnb out of the place? I'm not saying we should take
Not
it,
on the
do they?
street, no. You can get someplace not too far away, like a couple miles away.
Yeah, that's actually good. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
We do the simple thing.
All right. All right. So you get a well, do you want a hotel or an Airbnb? So like the hotel will have like better security, but more people watching, and the Airbnb will be more isolated, or more private, probably, unless the owner. Yeah.
If we're going to end up doing what I think we'll be doing, private is probably very good.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Do
right.
they have adequate shower facilities? Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, you can get like a whole house.
Just to clean up those unsightly, horrifying messes.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a nice deep bathtub, perhaps?
There is. You get a nice old house,
Yay.
and you can sweep through and sort of with your expertise and technology, you can disable the surveillance cameras the owner has left behind, or put them on loop. You don't have to roll for that. You're Delta Green agent. That shit that's what you do to other people. Yeah.
Right. In fact, we should put up some of these sensors now for when we're not there, so we can see if anything wanders in.
Okay. Yeah, you set up some
What do you call them? The hunting the
trail cams.
Trail cams. That's the word.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, well, day one, I say you roll in, you set up at your home base at the Airbnb. We'll say it's like 3 miles away from the site. And yeah, what's your approach? You could all talk about that. You could just drive in, check the street out. You could do more research. You could talk to local journalists or cops or people to get more information. Yeah.
Actually, now that we're here, is there a library nearby that would have the local papers archived?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not necessarily online, but available.
Microfiche. Yeah.
Go back and see if there's more details of that.
Sure. All right. Yeah, I'll give you a bonus on that bureaucracy history check, or whatever you want to make.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll take Carl a little bit to do, a couple hours. And so I'll just go down the line. Agent
that
Bale.
Would be a crit.
Okay. I'll get to you in a second.
Cool.
Agent Bale.
I would order probably some food and talk to the food drivers about the area with the
okay. Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah. Yeah. You could. All right. You could roll persuade with the +20. And Dr. Royalty, what do you want to do?
Is there any way I can pull medical records of the people from the place?
You don't know who they are yet. You haven't pulled any names yet. You don't know who lives on the street. Yeah.
Maybe I can use bureaucracy to figure out who lives there.
You can do.
I mean, real estate records should be again public.
Yeah, what bureaucracy skill is for. So yeah. And Agent Dudgeon, what do you want to do?
I'm not sure which resource I need to try to do this, but like, is there maybe you already know from the report about the junkyard, do we already kind of have a sense of when things started to get bad, or like when it started to become a street that everybody ignored?
Well, the street was only built 10 years ago. Coles and Briggs junkyard has been around for decades. It's been abandoned for decades. It's been abandoned since like the 70s. It's over 50 years now. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we know that about that, and then like the street though, like or if that part where they're starting to ignore calls from that area, was that from just that one street, or from just
yeah, with the successful, you made the criminology check. It started probably about 3 years ago, and it sort of picked up, but like kind of a hockey stick thing where it's slow at first, and then it picked up, especially in the last 6 months, in terms of ignoring and calls, and so yeah.
I don't know. I want to investigate something with that, but that seems to be that's a clear indication of the effect they're talking about, where people choose to ignore that stuff happening. I'm kind of curious to look at the street, but I don't really want to. I don't want to go in there. I want to feel like doing that could make things more active, and I don't want to make things active.
Okay, well, you can hang out and talk to the delivery driver that Bale's talking to, so you can be there for. So first off, we'll go back to Carl. So you crit on that research check on the history of the junkyard, right?
Well, history of the junkyard, the neighborhood, whatever's in the local papers about the area.
So, the junkyard started
or just in the local library. Maybe they got some hobby historians that filed the document. Who knows?
The junkyard was set up after World War II, and then was abandoned in 1975 when Jonathan Briggs was arrested. There are numerous times where the city council has tried to get funding to clear out the site, but it always fails, especially after sometime in 1996. So you find out after Briggs the Butcher, as he was called, there's a lot of speculation that he had more than 6 victims. They just couldn't find them in that junkyard. So they don't know how long he was around, killing hitchhikers. But after he was executed in the early 80s, the junkyard became known as a popular spot for drug dealers and addicts. The police routinely found bodies of overdosed addicts, often savagely mutilated by rats or dogs. And this continued for years until 1996. One night, the police received multiple 911 calls from miles away, reporting a lot of gunfire from the junkyard. Enough, like a shot or two would not get a noise complaint, but like this was like extended barrages of gunfire. And there was enough that the police showed up. When they arrived, they found 3 bodies who were later ID'd as a local drug dealer and 2 addicts. All 3 of them had firearms on them and were surrounded by spent shell casings. It appears as they made a last stand against something. No other bodies were found. There were bloodstains and mysterious fleshy bits that were discovered, but in analysis of what and the bodies were torn apart, like ripped apart by dogs. Feral dogs is the official coroner's report, but the analysis of the bloodstains and the fleshy bits were inconclusive.
Were there any other things found that were hit by the bullets, or did the bullets just go into the surrounding terrain?
They did not. It seemed the analysis is that the dogs limped away and died in the car stacks. But no bodies of feral dogs were ever found. And local criminals avoided the site after that, and urban legends about it spread like wildfire. Today, the junkyard is avoided. Urban explorers and curious teens visit sporadically, but even they seldom linger for long. There have been a handful of disappearances in the area that, including in one case, a urban explorer who had a YouTube channel who said he was going to visit the junkyard and then disappeared. His car was found within walking distance of the junkyard, and a search of the junkyard was found, and this was like a year ago. But
so the guys in charge of covering this thing up a while back did a great job.
But
is there a date on the memo we got about Darkfield? Do we know what year it came out?
No, that's part of the problem.
Okay. Can we get a guess? I mean, we know it's older.
Sometime between it would be after Briggs the Butcher was executed, but before 2001. So
okay. And is the current year the current
so
year?
Mid 80s to 2001.
Right. Are we in the current year or?
I'll say it's 2019.
Okay.
If there were a number of bodies. If there were a number of bodies recovered over the years, that could have been part of the experiments they were doing, and the drug overdoses were a cover.
I mean, the he got a critical success. There definitely was.
I'm gonna go. Why not both?
Yeah. There definitely it definitely was a place for people to do drug deals and get high for a while, because the police wouldn't go to the area and it was isolated.
My thinking was,
Well, I was going to recommend that we all have like thick gloves on so we don't like cut ourselves on rusty stuff. But now I'm thinking we need like kind of protective gear. What time of year is it?
I will say it is spring.
Okay, so it's not
no, it's fall. It's fall. It's October. It's getting started.
Oh, good. So it's nice and cool. Okay, so leather coats and whatnot probably prudent.
I have a fun question. Can we get a bulldozer?
That's going to be. Do any of you have heavy machinery?
I do.
Oh yeah,
30%.
Ooh,
expert.
That would definitely be a bureaucracy check to requisition the funds.
You could just rent one, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, that would be that. It would either be a bureaucracy check or a bond hit, as you're dipping into your own money to rent a bulldozer.
Right.
That's not fucking like cheap. That's not like a casual expense. That's like probably $1,000 or something a day, or something like that.
Or,
at least a couple hundred.
Is there a local construction site with bulldozers?
Well, that's a couple felonies.
A different problem.
Yeah, that's a couple felonies. Because you're also you can't drive it across town. You're gonna need a truck with a that's renting it, and then also, of course, the real thing is if you don't bring it back intact, which you're gonna be liable for the cost of a bulldozer, which is a six-figure.
Another thing is like trying to avoid suspicion. You show up there with a bulldozer to a place no one's been, and you want to bulldoze it down. There's going to be questions.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying if there's a large thing attacking us, maybe we want to topple a bunch of cars on it. Rusty.
What makes you think there'll be a large thing attacking us? It could possibly be the picture on the cover of the book or something.
No. It's the document. It said like inside, depending on how much human misery was nearby.
I'm going to suggest that there's some evidence that physical interaction isn't a thing that actually happened, because all those bullets, no bodies. That's not great.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe they hit it and it got into hiding, so that's why it was
silent. In that case, maybe a getaway vehicle is more relevant.
There you go. Yeah, we're good running shoes that are tough enough to like stand up to a rat bite.
Mm-hmm. I would say you could get thick leather clothing that gives you 1 point of armor against biting and that kind of thing. Actually, 2 points. You could get that. Yeah.
Motorcycle gear for everyone. Yeehaw.
Motorcycle gear would give you 4 points, but
so then, not that much.
Yeah. Because that's like the stuff that
We hit all the secondhand shops and do this, so it's not ridiculously
We could also
expensive.
buy some construction worker company gear type thing, so we look like we're there to assess things. Maybe
Yes.
like
Okay,
Yeah, the orange vests make you look official.
sure.
yes.
And the
Yeah, you
yellow
get that
hats.
high
There you
vis
go.
shit. Yeah.
We get a
It will also
notebook and we
cover
just-
up the fact that we've dressed ourselves against animal attacks.
Well, buying
I mean,
buying the
why
motorcycle
cover
stuff.
up? We could just be investigative reporters, like we are. So
All right, so you can get like construction gear, protective clothing, PPE stuff for that gives you 2 points of armor against biting and animal attacks. Or you get high end motorcycle gear for 4 points, but that's high. That's not like that's going to be more. That's going to be all day, and that's going to be a bureaucracy check for somebody to requisition.
yeah,
those.
no. This is the on the cheap, on the fast.
The construction stuff you can get at hardware stores. So that's pretty trivial. So I'm not
and probably in used in surplus places.
Yeah. So that'll take you a couple hours to assemble that for everybody.
But basically, places that take cash.
So that's fine. So you can do that and still have plenty of daylight to go check out the junkyard if you want.
Well, there's a couple of other things that remains to do since.
So Bale and Dudgeon, you're talking to the delivery driver. So Bale, did you make your persuasion check?
24 up of 50, so yes.
Okay. So you talk to the driver. He sort of express an interest in like driving yourself. What's the area like? Blah blah blah. And he's like, oh yeah, it's pretty good, except for that street. He points to the direction of the dead end street. That place is the only really, oh god, that place is so bad. But there's a couple people there. There's a couple like shut-ins who order food on the reg, and so there's a lot of orders coming from that area. But there's like a wild dog problem there, and there's rats. I've seen rats sort of scurrying around just out in the open. It's really fucking weird. The place smells. Some of the houses just smell bad. I think there's a hoarder. Yeah,
they must be bad if they are rats.
There's like one person there. She fucking has like bunches of dog food bowls out there and like water dishes and shit like that. So I think she's like one of those. You ever see that TV show Hoarders where they hoard stuff? Well, I think she's like doing that, but for like pets. And it smells like cat piss there. So yeah.
I've been once in such a house.
Yeah. So that's the only shitty place that you really have to avoid if you can. But you get dinged if you reject too many orders. So I recommend bringing like a pellet gun or something, so you can scare off anything that sniffs at you. Yeah.
Thanks for info, man, and here's your tip.
Okay. If that's all you want to ask, that's all he'll volunteer. So, all right.
I mean, I can ask about the the delivery guy. I guess I don't know. What do you know? He lives in the area. Does he know anything about the junkyard?
That place is like haunted with all the ghosts of his murder victims or something. But ghost hunters won't do tours of that place. It's too dangerous. You get fucking tetanus just breathing near that place, I think. Right. Yeah. So he mentions ghost stories and stuff like that. Let's see here. Anything else?
The only other thing I could think of before we try to head in with our gear was what if or if we knew any who's trying to think of people who it would be interesting to hear from people that have maybe the people that used to take calls from the area, but I guess they might say the same thing the delivery guy says.
Yeah. There's Oh yeah. Also, there's one van. There's one of those. Stay out of the. If you see that someone driving around in a van, get out of their way. They're probably, man, road rager. Like he's almost run into me a couple times. He's whoever's driving that is a piece of shit. Yeah. And then Dr. Royalty, I think you were researching names of people who lived in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you make it?
Who they are? Yes, 9 under 50.
Okay. Yeah, you get some names. There are. Yeah, I'll say you can pick 3 of the houses with a successful check, and find out who they are.
Are any of the houses obviously not lived in?
Actually, yeah, there are 3 houses that are empty.
All right, I'll mark those on the
let's see
map
here.
then.
Number 2, number 7, and number 9 are unoccupied. 2, 7, and 9.
Yep. So those could potentially be used for our own cover if we're here to look on houses or want to have someone
could
to...
you drop the image to
Oh yeah, sorry, I will put that in the chat channel. The picture for that will be a little weirder because it's also gonna have a big white space because I just deleted the text real quick rather than block it. But yeah, I'll create
it. Does the job. It's fine.
Actually, let me put it this way. I want the houses that are closest to the site that are inhabited.
Yeah, the right side goes to the site. But like,
so that would be 4, 6, and 8.
Yeah, but 2, 7, and 9 are the ones that are unoccupied.
Yep.
So the other houses, the other 7 houses are have people in them.
Are any of those still for sale?
They are. None of them are for sale right now. One of them is foreclosed, and the other 2 are delinquent on property taxes. So they're also being foreclosed. Yeah, they're all being foreclosed.
All of them.
Yeah, all the 3 empty houses. Yeah.
No, I meant
just because the records say that they're empty doesn't mean that they are empty necessarily in reality.
Right.
Well, judging. Okay, you made your check. So what it looks like in the area is that everyone, the 3 houses were for rent and have been abandoned, and they're being like written off.
Oh, so somebody had left them. They were for rent. Nobody was willing to rent it. So now they're being just shut down by their owner.
Yeah, basically.
Or their owner is being shut down by...
So 2, 7, and 9 are owned by a property company for rental. And it looks like they're not making them available for rent, and they're not available for sale. So reading between the lines, do you have accounting? Does anybody have accounting?
I do not, I believe.
I have a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Try.
I mean, everyone's have the base at 10. I have utility, so maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to waste time on it if that's a thing, because 10% isn't really great.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't know why they're doing that, but like the property company is not doing anything with these houses. Actually, I'd say they are still current on property taxes though. So yeah. But you can pull up the name. I'll say with your check you can get the name of any of the people, the houses, but and do research checks on them, I guess. Yeah.
You said 3 houses. I said 4, 6, 8.
4, 6, 8. 4 is owned by a man. Let's see here. Where are the names? Put the names somewhere in this document. It's over here. All right. Rick Abbott owns it, and then 6 and 8. Let's see. 6 is the one with the van parked in front of it, the white van, which you can see from the map. And let's see here. Driver is Russell Page, and 8 is Jan Lynch. So. And yeah, with those names, you could now research them too. Yeah.
Yep, because one thing we could do here, I say as a detail to the others, what I found is that we could approach some of these people and get them in for a medical consultation, free, gratis, tempt them with a good offer, and see if we can get them to reveal something that they may not be aware that they have, such
Yeah,
as.
well, I mean, they may be wanting to move, and that could be the way to get them out of it.
I mean, he
maybe
trans to
these people are going to be potentially, if this psychic thing is true, may be unstable. To put it
That's
mildly.
fair. Yeah.
We already had
You want-
descriptions of shut-ins, people with hoarding tendencies. You need a light touch and try to bring them out of their whatever
Yep.
influence they are under and or shell they've retreated into.
And they were reports of gunshots without any wounds, so there is a chance that they are armed.
Yes, that is also an issue.
I'm
Like,
feeling like this whole place is probably going to soon be declared a Superfund site. Sounds like it kind of
Well-
already is.
Well, we need to verify what this thing is, if anything.
Yep.
You know, we could also grab some rat traps. Just saying, if we, could catch
we
one
don't
of
have
those
any
things.
real evidence that the animal manifestations are actual separate entities or just like
Good point. Good point.
psychic influence thing.
I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
Because
I mean, we can
all of
go-
the
I mean, we could go look on the rats. If they are strange and misshapen, then you know.
yeah, there were the fleshy bits as described.
I'm assuming those are the weird nerve cluster things.
They said they found mysterious blood stains and fleshy bits scattered about the place. It could be that from the bodies that were torn apart. It could also be that some kind of entity maybe was moving about, got shot, and then decayed or
Fair.
something.
Yeah. Oh, turns out I have military science land, so figuring out the best way to approach this place without us being instantly noticeable might be a good idea too.
The
I don't
funny
think it's gonna
answer
matter,
there
but-
is probably come from the direction of the junkyard because nobody
Yeah.
goes there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
You
want
know,
to
we
talk-
could also.
I mean, if you want to talk to people, we shouldn't go from the strange directions.
Right. No, I'm thinking though, on the other side of the junkyard, if it's still unincorporated land and there's nothing there, we could check the local wildlife and see if there's been any kind of kill-offs.
Yeah, we could also do research on the individuals and try to lure them out of their housings and get them
Yeah, that's
into
probably the
a
best way to
temporary
go.
doctor's office or something for me to examine and speak with.
Yep.
Because one suspicion I have here is that whatever this entity is, it has some kind of psychic influence over an area.
Yep.
And the moment we enter that area, we are thereby entering its influence and might become
Potentially, yeah.
susceptible to whatever is going on. Having some distance from it might be good.
Mhm.
Of course, it might be that we are only really truly able to detect whatever is going on while in the place.
So you wanna go talk with people on with GoPro to notice something strange? Like they might not talkative that much if we get cameras with us.
Yes, indeed. That's why you have to have some way to lure them out of their shells and make them not go bonkers at you. So I kind of want to look up these people that we have identified so far. We
Okay.
could potentially look up more people, and yeah.
All right. So who do you want to look up?
Russell Page seems interesting because we had a story about a white van with a road rager, and there's a white van on the Google Maps that we've
That
looked
sounds
at.
like he is one of the infected. So I mean, maybe that's enough evidence to find out what's going on.
All right. So yeah, give me what skills do you want to use to research Mr. Russell Page?
Let's see. I don't really have much in the way of investigative skills. I do have bureaucracy. I have
Bureaucracy would get you
medicine,
something. Yeah.
medicine,
Journalism.
biology.
Yeah, journalism and looking at people is literally part of the job. So yeah.
That is the job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh well, if somebody else will handle this, that's fine by me.
Yep. 42 under 60, so yes.
He is a plumber professionally. It does not appear he worked on his own. It does not appear his Yelp ratings have gone down in the last year. Doesn't it's not even clear if he's still working.
Did he move in the last year? Or?
He moved in 2 years ago.
Yeah, it took a year to get to him. Okay.
Yeah. And he some traffic tickets.
Are those also recent?
They've been clustered. Yeah, recent. Yeah. And there are some social media posts you find on that talk about Russell Page being an asshole and has an anger problem, but these predate him moving there. So he was just long
so
there.
he started with an anger problem, and then this happened to him potentially.
That could line up. Yeah, that's certainly a valid hypothesis at this point. But yeah, other than that, it appears he is what you guess. You can't tell if he's working or earning money in any way, if he's just living off of savings. I mean, there's limits to what you can do with just a journalism check. But,
Right.
No criminal record to note. Yeah, just a man with an anger problem who's going downhill. Is all you can sort of ascertain with just looking at him through records. Civilian records. Yeah. Yeah.
And he lives alone. He has no family.
Yes.
He has no.
Yeah, he divorced 4 years ago. Irreconcilable differences, anger problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you want to look at the other two? I would say with the same check, you could look at their records here. These are just what was it? The Rick
Abbott and Jan Lynch.
Rick Abbott used to be is a retired engineer.
Hey.
He worked for a company called Modular Synergy.
Oh no.
And he is that's about all you could find. He is still doesn't really post on social media. He never married.
If you say he spends too much time listening to podcasts, I don't know, man.
No. Oh no, he you do find a Yelp where from a year and a half ago where he talked about there is a local electronics recycling center that he gave a glowing review to. And yeah, so Mitch's Electronics Recycling. So apparently he is still crafting away, building buying parts from an electronics recycling center.
Sounds like one of the shut-ins.
No, because he's going out and doing things. So.
Oh yeah, even if he has a hobby.
Honestly, sounds like another fellow that's just retired from where I worked. Because it's like I can still build stuff. It's like okay, or rather, I get to build stuff again because that wasn't what we did.
Let's see here. Jan Lynch. You find that she has a court order from owning pets. For animal abuse and neglect. Yeah, she is a cat.
For owning too many.
Yeah.
Oh.
And also retired. Worked in a bank. And divorced 7 years ago, and then a couple years ago, 5 years ago, she got this court order. Yeah, and then she's received some citations for violating it, but nothing really enforced.
When did she move it? I mean, did they all move in about 2 years ago-ish?
2 or 3 years ago, yeah. It seems this place has had a lot of turnover.
When was it built? Because I thought it was built.
It was built 10 years ago.
Okay.
And it used to be rental only, and then the high turnover of rentals. People wouldn't stay very long, and so they just offered them for sale at below market rates and attracted a group of people who wanted to own a house. And Yeah.
and thus forced a bunch of people to get stuck near the cursed place because they can't change housing in this market.
And they're also the people that most can't afford extra dark influences, probably. Except for the engineer guy. He seems like he's still doing things, or was. He might be the least.
Oh, you do find
down
some.
that road.
There's some noise violations. He's violated in the last year. He's been cited for noise, running power tools.
Yeah.
But only in the
Honestly.
last year.
Only in the last year.
Huh. Yeah, I suspect that's maybe the one we start with as the least hard case, as it were.
Maybe, but I just have morbid curiosity to see what in the world he's built.
He's building a death laser.
There's
we're gonna enter that
definitely a
house, and
slight chance I based this character on the Tom Waits song. What's he building in there? Maybe.
Well, I mean, if it's an energy weapon, that takes probably a lot more energy storage.
We're gonna
Maybe
enter
something
that
more on
house like
brand.
the thieves from Home Alone.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
It's still daylight. You could go do a house visit. For
I mean,
Mr. Abbott.
let's try that first. Let's just.
All right.
I mean, if we're gonna do that, I mean, if anyone wants to do something else, that's cool. But otherwise, I want to split the.
All right. So, are you all heading to the street?
Well, what's the story? What are we
That's a good
approaching
question.
him for?
I mean, we could
Rick
just
Abbott's
do a drive
retiring
around and
Noise
look
violation?
around.
Yeah.
No,
You can
noise
just drive around.
violations.
It's a free country. Yeah, you could still just drive around and look
I can
around.
drive around first.
All right. All right. You drive.
Is this still day one? Are
Yes,
we in the evening?
it's.
Are we...
I'll say it's just still the afternoon. You have like 2 hours of daylight left.
All right.
All right.
Let's
Let's have a camera around that we can.
oh yeah,
drive in,
everyone have a
look
GoPro
around,
going.
have cameras going, and we can.
Are you
review the footage
concealing
once
them, or
we
are you
get
just
back.
gonna have like them strapped onto your head or something, or on your chest? Are you gonna have chest cams?
Well, I
Body
mean,
cams?
if we're driving, then we're just all looking through the things out the windows, right?
Yeah. All right. So you all have cameras running except for the driver because you have to drive. So who's driving?
I got a 50%.
Not
Does
me.
anyone have other than base?
Base.
I do.
I have 50.
There you
All
go.
right,
You're
there
driving.
you go. Agent Bale is your driver. All right. So the other three of you are in the car. I'll say it's a rental SUV. And you let's see here. Yeah, everyone give me an alertness check to look around the neighborhood. You'll get something even if you fail, but like there are some obvious things, but there are
41 under 60.
okay.
86, so I failed.
All right, so one
Give me a
success.
second. Give me a second.
38 over 20. I'm not alert.
Okay, one success.
One success.
Well, what about Agent Dudgeon?
I did not make it.
Okay, so one success.
Yeah.
All right. The agent who did succeed, are you more looking at street level, or are you looking at the? There are birds.
I'm scanning both.
Well, you get. What are you focusing on more? What are you more concerned with?
I mean, if the only thing that we see visibly moving around are birds, I'll have a look. At the
There's
birds.
more than that, but like this is just an overview. Are you looking?
I mean, those are the easiest thing to spot because they're not hidden in things, right?
Yeah, there are birds on the roofs of these houses.
Yeah, I'll take a look at those first then.
All right, the birds look weird, and like bad. Like they're roughly crow-sized and shaped, but crows don't have like darkish red tinting like that.
No,
and they kind of glisten in the sunlight.
Yeah, these are not wingspan birds. No,
these are not wingspan birds. And you have a camera. You could zoom in. Do you want to zoom in?
I'm gonna make that mistake. Sure.
All right, make a sand check.
Oh, why? What could possibly be the reason for that?
Yeah,
I typed wrong hand. It's like one dash doesn't give you much. That's a 17. I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those birds don't have feathers. They're just fleshy, darkened, blackened, red flesh.
All right, turn around. Let's get out. It's real.
And you get some found footage, shaky cam, zoomed in footage of them. Because again, you're on the ground looking up at birds on a roof house. I mean, they're one story, suburban house.
I mean, you know what? We could stop at the edge of the thing and stop and get some good shots just for evidence.
All right, yeah, you're stopping and drawing attention to yourself. The bird
at the edge of the place.
Yeah, well, the birds can see you. You can see them.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
do that as briefly as possible, and let's go.
Okay,
All right,
good.
it's still shaky. Like, yeah.
Are
So-
they following us?
Wait,
They are.
Carl, why are we
They are.
leaving?
Yeah, you're making your check. They're clearly watching you. As soon as you get out of the car and start recording them a bit with a camera, they start flying and sort of like there are birds that are monitoring you as long as you're on the street now. So I'll tell you that much.
Do we all see that now?
Yeah, I don't know. Is Carl pointing this out to the others?
Oh, as
asking
soon as I
us
get
to
back in the
stop
car,
or
we start
something.
driving. I am.
Okay. So you're going? Are you going to do a just drive around the street, go around the cul-de-sac, and come back?
I mean, I thought we already
Yeah,
did that. That's what
Okay.
I was
All right,
doing
all
there.
right, all right. So yeah, this all happening at the same time. Here's what you see that you don't have to make a skill check for. So number one, it has newspapered windows. You can see that from the street. Newspapers covering the windows. Number two, closed door, but you can see bits of police tape flutter in the wind.
Now, one is supposedly occupied, correct?
Yes. Number three, you see someone peek through the blinds, watching as your car passes. Number four, you can hear a power drill go off for a bit.
Engineer.
And let's see here. Number five, you can see very prominent no trespassing signs, sort of marking the edge of their lawn. And there is a woman, an older woman on the front porch, on a bench watching you as you drive by.
But she doesn't have a shotgun.
You do
Yep.
not see one from the street. Then number six, yeah, there's a dirty white panel van parked out front, as you can see. Number seven has a piece of paper taped to the front door. Then a number eight has pet food bowls and water bowls out front. And if you roll down the windows, you can smell animal waste from there.
Actually, it's kind of surprising that anything normal would show up to eat the food in this area.
Well, it's like stale. Like it's not. Yeah, it's a bad ammonia kind of smell. But like, yeah,
Well, I mean, is the
Who
food
says-
still there, or is it like clearly being eaten? by
there's something in there. Like you see, like it. I don't know. You're seeing from the street. How accurately can you gauge if that's good dog food or stale dog food or what?
No. I mean, just are the bowls depleted, or are they all brimming full, waiting for something? To come along?
Depleted. They're definitely
Okay.
not brimming.
Okay, that's good.
Maybe not.
Number nine,
Maybe not.
the front door looks like it has been kicked open. It is barely hanging off.
Oh,
and
well.
then, number 10, there are broken windows, and you can hear someone inside yelling and screaming and thrashing around, like they're having a temper tantrum or something.
Awesome. Which was the one with the engineer? Four?
Number 4? Yeah,
How's
What
that
was
one
the
look in
power
comparison? Is it in better shape?
yeah. But I mean, you can hear the power tools going off.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
maybe he's making a giant ghost killer monster robot. That'd be great. Could be
Yeah.
useful.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. So, do you want to leave, or do you want to like stop at house number 4, like you were talking?
I mean, I tell them the birds are definitely notice that we're watching them, and they're not, birds so much.
We should leave.
Okay.
We should leave right
Okay,
now. Let's
Yes.
go.
When he says that, I have to try and get a look at the. I'm not going to get out of the car, but I'm trying to get around and get a look at the bird.
I
All
show
right.
you on the camera.
Yeah. No, give me
Yeah.
a sand check. I mean, once the allergic check was to realize the birds are fucked up. If you failed it, they just look like birds. You don't really notice it. But like, if someone points it out for you, you don't have to make the allergic check. So go ahead and give me that sand check.
Oh, there
yeah.
you go.
Yes. All right.
I'll look at it as well. I'm
yeah,
fine.
sand checks for everyone. Yeah, 0 if you make it.
There's at
God.
least one crit fail.
All right,
That's
that's
me.
4.
Okay.
That one of the birds stretches out its wings, and you can see it's like bat wings. They're like fleshy, but it has a
Fleshy bat.
razor sharp, like a very sharp looking beak made of bone.
So it's
One
definitely
def-
also not a bat.
Yeah, it's bird shaped, not bat shaped. And it moves like a bird mostly, but that's like an abomination. So crit fail insanity is 4 because it's a 0, 1,
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
1d4. And I
with
lose
my
4.
7,
Yeah. You're now you're thinking about the implications of the memo, and that like if those are fucked up, then that there's a giant fucking thing. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
see it as you scan the cameras around, but like it's not great.
and right now you're feeding it with your fear and terror.
I
don't know fear yet. It's just fear.
Anyway, I'm just this is good. They have
Ish.
physicality. We can kill them probably.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Again, I will point out lots of gunfire, no bodies.
Well, the bodies were the
Fleshy bits?
fleshy bits. Looks like.
I'd like to believe that too. Okay.
Yeah. So what do you want to do now? Do you want to stop at the house 4, drive away and hide?
My humble suggestion is that we retreat from here and attempt other
And
means.
see if
to
anything's
procure-
following us as we retreat.
Yeah.
The birds are just watching you as far as you
That's
can tell.
fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the driver lost 4 sanity points, so he's driving back.
Shakily.
Yeah. You kind of veer on the road a bit.
We have now seen the elephant.
Yeah. Just a tiny little elephant. They're just tiny.
We have
little birds.
seen the iceberg tip.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
We've seen just.
Oh my god, the
never
elephant
mind.
is real. We have no idea what the true elephant is.
You've seen the elephant's tail at this point. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you want to do? That took you, probably like half an hour ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Back to base.
I think we stop somewhere on the way back to base. I don't know, like a quick stop or a 7-Eleven or whatever. Get out, look around, see if there's any with the camera, see if anything came after us.
Yeah. Give me alertness checks.
Okie dokie.
Fail.
Oh, good. 81 out of 60.
Yeah, you're fine.
5 out of 50. I made mine. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
you're-
perfect.
Yeah. As far as you
think
can
I
tell, there's no one
succeeded at the
following
thing.
you.
Is the
Alertness.
22
Okay. Hang on. Alert.
Oh, is that a crit success?
or a crit failure?
Something for alertness?
He just roboted out, so.
Yeah. Weird. What's your alertness?
Oh, my alertness was, and I got 22. So crit
Okay.
success.
Yeah, you could definitively. The birds stopped watching. They watched you as you left, but they did not leave the street.
All right. Are there any like rat level things?
No rat level things.
Okay, good.
yeah.
Okay, they're not following us. That's something.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Keep telling this
So-
to yourself.
Which part of the birds was made out of bone?
The beak.
Yeah.
The beak, right? Okay, the beak. Right. Your bone beak.
And did it look leathery or gelatinous?
Gelatinous.
Oh, good. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might
like-
want broad
I
smashing.
think I
things.
guess the texture would resemble a bit like the thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
baseball
not-
bats might be better than guns for these. I don't know.
I do not have
Maybe shotguns.
that sort of training either way, whether
Yeah, same.
guns or
Maybe-
melee weapons.
Maybe automatic
Well, now,
shotguns.
unarmed is 40 and firearms is 20. So there's that.
And melee weapons is 30.
Oh,
My
is it?
firearms is 50. Almost everything on this character is a luck check.
I'm 60 at unarmed combat. I'm gonna kick the shit out of them.
Regardless, how many birds were there?
Couple dozen.
Yeah, so we might not want to fight in that way.
A good flock. I mean, they were.
Yeah, we didn't-
Now
we
that you
don't
think
wanna-
about it, they were stationed at houses spaced out so that they all had eyes on. Like they were not bunched up in one large group. But yeah, it looked like they had a pretty good.
I mean,
eyes
it could-
on. Yeah.
Could be that these things are the feeding tendrils of the thing. And
Well,
by
I-
watching is how it feeds on fear and whatnot.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have
Well-
heavy weapons, so we can order flamethrower always.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Well-
you can get more resources once you've assessed that there is a valid threat here. But like,
There's a valid threat here. Just
Well,
send
we
in
have
some
some
people with
shaken-
flamethrowers and we'll see you.
We need to convince Handler Smith about the validity of this assessment. Right now, all we have is shaky cam footage. Maybe
Mm.
that's enough. We can try.
Yeah, any of you can roll human to know if that's going to be enough.
Was I able to get any like just one clear shot or?
Nope. You're inside a moving car. You stood out for a little bit, and you were shaken by this, and then you like
Well,
immediately.
no, I mean I made the sand roll, so why was I shaking?
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you can give me a journalism check to see if you have.
There we go.
Yeah.
I failed my human test.
Okay.
Yes, 13 under 6. 60.
Okay, yeah, you got some clear footage of it, but you can give me human check.
Right.
Someone already succeeded on one.
Okay, if one person succeeded, then
No, he succeeded the footage.
52 under 60, so I made human also.
That's not going to be enough. Like, she's not going to give you much for that.
What does she want? One of these things in a bucket?
Evidence of the black blood, maybe?
Yeah. If you can get, like, the gold standard would be getting, confirming that the residents have nerve clusters on them.
Okay.
Well, I have an idea there. We have a plumber who's been there for a while and seems like he's affected. We have an Airbnb with plumbing. We could just get him in here.
Yeah, he has a phone number. Yeah, you can call it.
Worth a try?
The question is how we're going to approach this. We probably need to restrain and sedate him, and he's a violent man.
Actually, no. You check his Yelp records. You did check his Yelp. He's getting 1 stars lately because he's not answering his phone. Don't call. He's not answering.
That would have been the really simple way to do it.
All right, I think we talked to the used electronics parts guy and find out what that fellow's been buying.
Okay, yeah. You can do that.
And then maybe we can lure them out with, oh, you were looking for this that they didn't have, but now they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anyone who's liable to answer their phone or that we can draw out, that would be a way to.
I mean, we could also throw the cops into the speed grinder by doing.
Well, one thing we totally didn't do, although I mean, maybe we should, maybe it's not useful part of this. We never said hi to the local law enforcement.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Well,
maybe we should ask them to do a wellness check on number 10 with the screaming and the broken windows.
A wellness check will just get them in killed, which, I mean, whatever. But I mean, I'm sure that would help. But what if the approach was just like you go up to one house at a time and arrest one person at a time and send them to jail? Like, well, I mean, not to jail, but like on the way there, or at some point in there, once you have them in your custody, you can check them for nerve clusters. If you did it one house at a time, you don't try to take them all at once.
Whatever this entity
sure this
is,
will
it
backfire,
could be intelligent enough to notice that its food is vanishing one by one.
Yeah,
then it'll have to do something. So at least, I mean, I guess, look, it's I'm not saying it's a good idea, but like what I'm trying to say is, it's at least a different idea than just go in there and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's territorial according to the memo, so that could work.
Just to refresh, 2, 7, and 9 are the empty ones.
Yes.
And we found that they were. Which one had the door open? Was it like 9?
Let's see here.
Yes.
9.
Off, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one had newspaper on the windows, and we don't know anything about that. Correct?
One is occupied and has newspapered windows.
No, number 2 had police tape. We could check up on that to see if there's any kind of like legal reason.
Find out the police reports on 2.
Yeah. You don't have to make a check for that. That's pretty routine with your credentials and your skills in criminology. About 9 months ago, about 6 months ago, a resident, what's random name generator?
Behind the name.
Yeah. Behind. I need American.
I mean, any name generator that spits out things like Groove Freak is good for me.
Yeah.
It did.
From that's it, sir. Travis Brennan disappeared from the house 6 months ago. After his employer, basically after coworkers reported him missing. He worked at a warehouse. His coworkers said he didn't come in for work, and his they drove by his house and the door was open, so they called police. Police went in. There were bloodstains inside. He was reported as a missing person. His vehicle's in the garage, and he has not been seen since. No leads on the case.
So maybe the house number 2 is the closest one to the source, and it's not the junkyard, but something somewhere south from.
How long had he lived there by then?
3 years.
And
Yes.
did he? I assume he lived there alone.
Yes.
Is that the longest someone we've identified has been exposed to the source?
Yes. Yeah.
So
They were all converted from rentals to selling about 3 years ago, and or about 4 years ago, and then within, people started buying them up and moved in 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So they get eaten after 2.5 years, something like that.
Or we don't know what happens to them per se. We just know that they disappear.
And they are bloodstains.
Yeah, you at this point you have enough. You can spend the rest of the night analyzing this. Someone give me a criminology or
Anyone got better than 15 criminology?
I got 70.
Yeah,
well, there we
or
go.
actually occult would work too. Yeah.
Same question. Anyone have better than 50 in occult?
I do not truck with that nonsense.
Right on the dot. 70 over 70.
Yeah.
Oh my.
70 on 70. Oh, good job. So
51 over 50 on the occult. Nope, perfectly natural.
same different paths to get to the same result.
Yep.
Looking at the data, the place was built 10 years ago, and then it had a string. It was slow to attract tenants for the rentals, and had high turnover. People just wouldn't stay very long, and so then this happened, and it was often unrented, and people just didn't like living there. And so 3 years ago they changed them into selling. 4 years ago they changed them into things that they could just sell, and put them below market prices. And then 3 years ago the current crop of people all sort of moved in pretty close to each other, so you can figure out a pattern. The people who own the land realized that these were people would leave as soon as they spent any amount of time here, and they got bad vibes from it. So they basically set this up as a trap, to sell them and blow to get out and get something. So it's a loser land, and they basically trap these people into living here. And then things got worse once a large group of people lived here and were stuck here. So it went from bad to worse real fast once the current all residents all moved in, because when it's a rental area, it was only half occupancy at any given time. People would move in and out. It was just rotating, and
people could leave instead
and
of
people
being
could
stuck.
leave. Yeah. Yeah.
Do we know the person that made the choice to build this here?
They
need to go.
It was but that was like a company. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but someone made that choice. Someone's the chief, chair, or whatever, CEO of that company. They're responsible.
Let's see here. Ken Clayton did that. Yeah.
That bastard.
Yeah. He does not live. He's the executive. He does not live in LaFontaine anymore. So
I make notes for a journalistic expose on this bastard later.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm tying him to the horribleness over here. But
right.
that's later. That's for if I survive. Yeah.
All right. What's your next move?
Let's hope you survive then, so that justice may be done.
Okay.
Next step, we have genuine, dangerous things there, we think now. Maybe we should upgrade our armor.
Okay. Yeah. Go on.
I don't want to die. And if we have to go in there and fight tooth and nail against dozens of pecking birds, cats, dogs, etc.
It doesn't sound like they attack. They just kind of watch and spook you out at the moment.
So far, look, we barely even touched that place, and like the weirdness factor is off the fucking scale. I'm fine if this guy thinks that we're wearing biker clothing will help. Sure, I'm fine. I don't really care. I'll wear biker clothing.
I'm I'm mainly
I do.
concerned with survival and
Mhm.
making it through the mission so we can complete our task here, which is to assess whether this can be stopped in a reasonable manner.
Actually,
And
I
soon.
did check the mission dossier carefully, and it says investigate, and then also also talks about stuff on how to get the black blood and use it to kill things if you have to. So I think murder is possibly on the agenda here.
I mean, that's the
or-
memo.
Mhm.
That's the
Or-
I mean,
memo
if
about
we can capture some of these things, maybe there'll be a source of black blood.
I'm not sure if the things are. We know that definitely, according to the report, that
That's true.
people are victims are, and we have
So-
a fresh crop of victims. The problem is, some of them are probably very unstable at this point. And,
I think all of them, but yeah,
yes, getting them out of there and getting them assessed for nerve clusters is going to be a pain in the neck.
I don't think that it's a case of getting them out of there. I think it's going in there, finding nerve clusters, sucking the blood out, and getting the hell out.
But like, what if just like
Because that way we're
what
not
if-
threatening its food supply, right?
Well,
Okay, but
depending on
like-
whether this entity has learned from previous cases where blood has been sucked out and used against
It's still
it.
here, so maybe
All right,
no one did that.
All right, I know it's not the best way
How
to gain.
otherwise would they know that the black blood is poisonous to it?
I
This
know
might
it's
not
not
be
the best way to get
site.
information, but what if we just went in there and grabbed a, like, say, I forget, was house 1 and house 2 both occupied?
Let's see here. House 2 is definitely not occupied. That is an empty house. House
House
1 had been.
is newspapered windows.
Yep.
So you can see someone in house 1 and just
Yeah.
arrest them and take them out of the area and see what happens. They're the closest to the exit. That's why I
Do
recommend
any
house
of us
1.
have arrest powers?
There's
to
2 of
me,
you are FBI
should.
agents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
If we want to police state it up, we can certainly just make up an excuse and
I mean, it's
leave you in
Missouri.
for questioning.
I say play to our strength. Yeah.
You'll all have to make a helplessness check to arrest
Oh,
somebody
God.
and risk your careers and livelihoods for busting a person on totally made up charges. Yeah.
I
So,
said my guy's new, but he's not that new.
yeah.
I'll make the check.
You can do it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can bust in and flash your badge and put handcuffs on them, and what would they? How, unless they're a lawyer, they, yeah, how would they know? But you don't have you couldn't legitimately hold them in like a police cell.
Well, we're allowed 24 hours. I mean,
yeah, you
you
could put them in the Airbnb basement. Yeah,
I really don't think we should be bringing the local cops in on this unless we're going to send them in there and have them extract someone.
right, but as Russ said, we could just use the Airbnb.
yeah, it's just super
That's not
illegal,
ideal
and if
either.
you get caught, it's going to be really bad for all of you. So yeah.
Well, I mean, only one person that is fake person has their name on the Airbnb thing. But
By
yes,
the way, do we know any pig farms nearby?
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, Lafayette surrounded by a rural area. You can find a pig farm pretty easily, sure.
I really
But-
think all we need is to verify nerve clusters of one person. That doesn't need to be
Which-
anywhere
okay,
but in
see-
their own home.
Yeah.
See, and
You can't go to the electronics recycling center and ask him about Mr.
Yeah, if he comes
engineer.
by, we can
Abbott,
intercept
I
him
think,
and
yeah.
perhaps.
I'm just saying.
And
Maybe-
ask him. We're working on a what do they call multi-person case? A
Mr.
class
yeah,
action
yeah.
about industrial waste that's been affecting people oddly in the neighborhoods around here.
Well,
Do you have a growth like this?
I mean, yeah, you could ask them, but yeah.
I'm just saying, if we arrested one of those people and then
I'm
a little
firmly
bit of a
against the
search on,
arrest
not even that
idea,
invasive.
and I shan't be participating.
I
Yeah.
mean, arrest or
Okay.
kidnap.
Exactly. I don't
I
think
mean,
we
I
need to
said
move
arrest,
them.
kidnap.
All we need is evidence that they are affected. We don't need them
Yes.
to go
Okay, look,
anywhere other than
but-
their own home.
the moment
We-
we,
we-
start
we are a
extracting
team.
the evidence.
Hmm?
Yes.
Right, look,
You
we
go
are a team, and none of us really has authority over any of the others. So we'll just have to. I'll go with what the group comes up with. But here's my thinking. From the birds themselves, I mean, the birds are probably just, as you say, the tip of some kind of an iceberg. Why go in there and do everything on its turf when we could take a little bit of what we're assuming might be?
Because
a
it will
food supply
take
out?
like 10 minutes to do it. We don't threaten its food supply because we don't remove the person.
Yeah, you can all give me occult rolls if
Okay.
you want to like analyze what the
Okay.
likely response of this entity is based on what you know.
6 under 50.
Yeah, what you realize is like it's mimicking birds and dogs and rats. Part of its strategy is to blend in, right? So it's not going to it's not attacking delivery drivers, or it didn't attack you. It's trying to blend in. So
Right. So, but if we do something obvious like dragging someone out of there,
yeah,
that's
but
bad.
that's
Also,
bad. Yeah.
there's also like, you know, what, 7 other houses or 6 other houses that'll have people in them that could be watching,
Yes,
which is also
true.
bad.
I'm talking about the house closest to the exit. We could even have like a second vehicle there to help make the
Why
it's
not
easier or
just go
whatever.
in there, talk to them, and see if we can get a sample?
Yeah, you could talk to him. You could also talk to the Electronics Recycling Center, as you mentioned.
Yeah,
First.
I do like the idea of class action lawsuits
Okay.
and cancerous growths.
All right.
That gives me something to play with.
Sure.
Exactly.
but
Let's
we-
check with the recycling center first, because that might be another way to get the guy out of the neighborhood.
Yes,
and talk to him.
if we can pull someone out and meet them outside,
Yeah,
that
that's
would be
best.
more.
Well, the
ideal for
recycling
us.
center is pretty far away from the site, so it's safe.
Yeah.
So you all head to the site, recycling center. It's a strip mall with a big yard in the back where you can see stacks of appliances and TVs and that kind of thing. And the guy there is pretty open. Someone give me a persuade check to.
Sure. Hi, yeah, I'm doing a article about folks that have retired recently, engineers that are still building things. Popular Electronics is possibly in the market. I'm a freelancer, so it's on spec.
Yeah.
And I was hoping you could tell me about a few people.
Sure.
And that is a 68 under 70.
Oh, very good. He's like, oh, well, yeah, you probably want to talk to Rick. He's my main guy. He fits that to a T. Yeah, he's a retired engineer. And I think he's getting into animatronics or robotics or something.
Interesting. Fascinating.
Yeah, he has a pretty exacting parts list that, wish list. That I have to drop by his neighborhood, and it's going to hell, that place, but like he doesn't care. He's happy as a clam working
So you only deliver, or does he come out here to get stuff?
Occasionally he'll come out here, but mostly it's deliveries. He's a busy bee, but he shows you a parts list, and just all very technical, very complex parts. He points out that's a servo, that's pneumatics, that's this is medical stuff too.
Really?
Yeah. So does anybody have any kind of craft electronics or anything like that?
Well, I mean, I think
actually, the doctor can give me a medicine check. Yeah,
there we
I
go.
can do that. 34 under 60.
Some of the parts he's asking are from like medical implants, like interfacing, like prosthetics technology, stuff that you would use to like get a prosthetic arm to interface with a person's body. So yeah. That is highly unusual, high-end electronics, very specialized. So yeah, some of the stuff I'm unable to fulfill for him, but he pays me for some of it, and he's
it's amazing what people will throw away, isn't it?
Do you have his contact info? He might be willing to talk to me, especially if we can find him something on his list.
Oh yeah, he'd love to talk to you then. Here's his phone number. Sure.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I will give you guys a favorable write-up in the article if anyone buys it.
Oh yeah, no, he's
well, I mean, even if they don't, but
yeah, he has a day of shredding TVs and ripping apart circuit boards. So
watch out for the leaded glass of those things. Be careful.
Oh yeah, no, they wear full PPE. They're not dumb.
Good.
Yeah, they got it pretty standardized, but yeah. So yeah, all of you have that information now. So yeah, you can call Mr. Abbott if you want.
We might be able to draw him out.
So just a moment. When I see that, I stare at Carl like dumbfounded. Like, you just ask people stuff and it works. Maybe I wasn't trained as well as I thought.
It's called journalism. You're usually dealing with very bad people. We're dealing with aberrant mental state, these people. I mean, they're sick. Let's face it. But it
Yeah.
looks like whatever's going on with them got magnified by this thing, and that's like, yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I was
So,
taught that force isn't working. You're just not using enough, but maybe not.
I mean,
The
just
Rick
asking for
seems-
things is always the first thing you should try, no matter what. You never
Oh,
escalate.
weird.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Rick seems to be an outlier. He seems happy doing a pet project of some sort.
Yeah, but also, did he what the place he worked, was he working on any kind of like, prosthetics or
No, it was like civil engineering.
yeah, so this is not his area.
Modular synergy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, very normal company. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
he's
fine.
building the body for the thing.
Yeah.
Massive
Wait,
dynamics.
this okay, out of character. This is the thing you mentioned on like the scheduling snafu, isn't it?
No, modular synergy is just a company name I use for Delta Green scenarios when there's an
Okay,
evil-
never mind.
generic company name. It's just a
I
little,
swear to God, it
yeah.
sounds like one of the things you guys
It
mentioned,
does.
but
It
yeah.
does. You're probably
This is-
thinking
it-
Tahir
yeah.
and Sot or
Yeah, because
something.
it perfectly sounds like something that's. Oh no, they're gonna be fucked up shit. That's what.
Yeah,
Great name.
it's like Pleasant Glades or something like that.
It is a great DG name. Okay,
Yeah,
back to the thing.
It's like subsidiary to Mars technology.
well, regardless, this thing feeds on anxiety and whatever, and this guy seems relatively normal, working on his pet project, even though that project is unusual, I will admit.
Well, it can't
so-
hurt to interview him and see if he's got any growth he wants the doctor to take a look at for
that
free.
Would be,
Also,
that would be
point
lovely
out
if we can
that
draw him out.
he could get big funding if this case wins, and that would let him buy all the parts he wants new.
Okay.
Yes.
Dr. Royalty. One thing just bear in mind is that as you should well know, from like surgery and stuff. I mean, I don't know if you did surgery, but the line between academic researcher and mad scientist is like paper thin.
No,
Just saying.
no. Academic researchers are mad in a different way because of all the goddamn paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Particularly
So
paperwork. Though.
are you going to call him or are you going to go visit him?
Would be nice if we could call him, but if we have to visit him, we certainly have our excuses now.
Okay, yeah, you call him and it goes to voicemail. So
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go out there in the morning, I guess.
yeah, it's still the morning. You can go straight there. So you go
Oh,
to
okay. So this is the next day.
Day two,
yeah. You're doing all
Cool.
that research to figure out the pattern of
Yep.
residents, and that took a couple hours plus eating and sleeping. No one. Yeah. All right. So
Hey, nothing ate us during the night. Victory.
As long as we're there during the day and we're not actively exposing the critter, I guess we'll be safe-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, let's check the truck cameras. If nothing came to us during the night.
The white panel van is gone when you go to the street. Other than that, it's about the same as it was last time.
Well, now that's interesting. Is that the sort of if it's his company's van, there might be some sort of lo-fi tracker on there.
You can give me a computer science check or a SIGINT. Yeah,
I nudge someone else.
I can't do
Computer
that.
science. I can do that.
Oh, please.
They taught me all about that at the academy.
Well,
Hang on.
right now we're in the place, so
Right. But I mean, that's something to follow up on,
Yeah.
Okay.
depending on how this
we
goes.
do that, let
Because
me
we
know.
might be able to catch
I
him
will.
somewhere else. And with
Yeah.
anger issues, he's the easiest one to gin up a charge for.
yeah. And if Rick is responsive and helpful, we can maybe get him out of here and get him to a medical facility where I can actually do surgery.
Okay.
Yep.
So did you get your computer science check?
Oh yeah. Okay. I was sure. Yeah. Hang on.
Yeah.
Ready.
And if
You
are-
can
I
check to
think
see.
that's kind
You
of
can
in
check to see if
parallel.
there's a low jack on it
Fuck
pretty
me.
quickly. Yeah.
I don't think I made it. God damn it. Hang on.
All right. Well, then you don't know if it has a tracker on it or not. So
No, I didn't. I missed it by 9.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So be it. Okay. Let's go talk to the engineer
right.
in the basement.
Knock on the door. You can hear power tools, but eventually you just knock loud and long enough. At this point, all of you know the birds are watching you. They're definitely some are on the light pole, the street lamp. They're just watching the four of you intently, and you're all doing your best to pretend that they aren't watching you.
Well, they can certainly sense our anxiety if we have any. So
Yeah.
maybe
I
I
mean,
tossed
I-
around some anti-anxiety pills or something.
I mean, I think based on my occult analysis, I'm confident they're not going to mess with us unless they have to.
Yeah.
And I look
And that
around.
seems to be holding, but eventually, you hear some a man come to the door. He opens up. You see Rick Abbott. You pulled his photo. He looks worse than his photo, and he is wearing a bathrobe and like a leather apron on it. He has a tool belt. All of you can give me an alertness check.
Okie dokie.
I
was gonna say, are there any obvious growths?
Well, that's what the alertness check is for.
4.
Yeah, there's a weird bulge on the base of his spine, like at the just the back, like lower back area, where he has the robe tied up. He doesn't. Yeah, there's definitely a weird bulge in that area.
Yeah. What was his name again?
Rick Abbott.
Abbott.
Yeah.
All right. Doc, do you want to take this, or you want me to?
If you're the one persuading him to come with me, and you're better at persuade than me, you should probably do that.
Mr. Abbott, we've been getting some complaints about the health and safety of living near the nearby junkyard, and there seems to have been some sort of contamination. And they're reporting unusual growths. Would you be interested in such a lawsuit and or treatment for such an unusual growth?
All right. He's dismissive at first, but I assume you bring up payments, and you could.
Yes.
Yeah.
Payment.
Yeah.
Think of the funding now.
All right. Give me that persuade check.
All right. Yes, 23 under 60.
All right.
70.
Well, I've been. This won't take long. What do I have to do?
Honestly, just this is Doctor. I introduce him, and he has studied the particular condition. Take I don't know, maybe an hour, and we can have
some
you
mild
on your way.
anesthesia and surgery. Then
Oh no! I can't do that. I have a
you
special
want-
project. I'm behind my schedule.
I understand. If
my,
you
my
want,
company
perhaps
is
you.
depending on this project, okay? And I really need to get it done.
Well, if you want, like a 10, 20-minute exam could verify that this is a
Okay.
thing. You can schedule it later.
Psychotherapy.
Well, human.
Human?
Psychotherapy would be.
Nope.
Psychotherapy. Human to understand. You
Nope.
hit. So anybody makes did anybody make a human check?
I'll try.
Well, I can
I
roll,
failed.
but
Yeah.
I
think
can
I've only
try.
got, like,
I fail.
Okay.
I made mine.
All right, yeah. So Agent Bailey realized this
I
guy
made mine.
thinks he's still working for his company, even though the paperwork you got, the documentation you got, he clearly retired.
I had already cottoned on to that. So.
Yeah. He mentioned something that the special project is so important. But if it's only 10 minutes and I can get a payout, I could do that.
I mean, the payout may take a second visit, but it won't have to be right now. But right now, if you like, we have a doctor
come
with
in,
us. If
come
you just
in.
Thank you so much, sir.
Watch the clutter. So you come in, and this place has been like totally changed to become like a workshop. There are shelvings, there's racks for tools. You can spot old blood stains on some of these tools. Metal
Does he
bits.
have missing fingers?
No, his fingers are all still attached.
That's good.
The door to the garage is still open. As you walk by, you can see that's been turned into a massive thing. There's a basement. You can also smell burnt electronics, burnt plastic, and a faint stench of rot.
I'm sure that's fine.
And he comes to the kitchen, which has a small area that is clearly the one area for food prep.
Is it relatively clean and relatively well lit?
Yeah, relatively. There's a pallet of like Costco ramen noodles and that kind of stuff. He's very mechanical and efficient with this, but
good.
He says yes. Give me go and do your exam and let me know when I can pick up a check for this. That would be good to help supplement, because the company's not paying me enough for some of these parts. Building a new human is very expensive, it turns out.
That makes sense.
They need it to really upgrade the workplace. It'll be a world-changing technology.
So you're building a robot?
No, a new human.
Okay, well,
Well,
Sure.
please,
Let's let the
let me give,
doctor
give you
do his
some
thing.
local anesthesia here. I am
No,
not
no, no,
doing
no anesthetic, no anesthetic. Now, of course, you can lie and say it's not an anesthetic.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
if you
first
don't
things
want
first,
any anesthetics, then that's fine.
can he get a
will-
look at the growth?
I will simply study
Yeah,
the
that's
growth
important.
and take the sample,
medical
and then
reasons.
I'll inject him with a sedative.
Yeah, you can give me a medicine check.
Pharmacy or
Pharmacy,
Surgery.
yeah, would work. Yeah.
Pharmacy?
And
46 under 70.
There we
while they
go.
are doing that, can I go around looking around if there are any cameras in his house or in neighborhood?
Well, you can look in the basement. There doesn't seem to be on the ground floor,
Good.
Okay.
but you can see what he's building down there. Yeah, yeah.
So did you knock him out or just numb him?
I'm gonna knock him out unless we have specifically discussed that I'm not going to do.
No, I don't see any
extract
reason
black
not
blood.
to.
Why not?
We just needed him to get in a position where we could start extracting the juice
So
and possibly him.
you did make the check, so you do safely knock him out, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he's like, no, what'd you do? You can see betrayal on his face as he did not want this to happen, and in panic as he realized he's been sedated. And
I try
then
not
he's
to work.
so that takes him a few minutes as you see that anger and shock on his face. And then he passes out. But meanwhile, Agent Bale, you're going down in the basement.
Yes.
And oh yeah, I should give this a sand check. So give me a sand check.
And I fail.
Awesome. That's going to be 5. Which is 5 fighter freeze. Because it wakes up. There's a goddamn Frankenstein on that table down there. It is made from dead humans and electronics and mechanics, and it just looks like a piece of artwork. But then it gets up and looks at you with absolute murderous, with 2 mismatched eyes, but both of them scream bloody murder at you. As its father has been betrayed, and it must protect father.
Is it strapped down?
No,
Really not.
I thought that was the answer.
Yeah. So
Well,
Agent Bale.
It made sense to sedate him.
And I pull out my gun.
All right, cool.
Hey, it was still a good call. It was still a good call.
I'll give you. Yeah. What's your dex?
My dex is 70. Oh god, I'm fast.
Yeah, you get to go first. You're at point blank range. You're within 10 feet of it. So plus 20 on your firearms check.
51 over 70 with the plus 20 bonus, so I hit.
All right, roll d10 as you shoot it with your handgun.
3 damage.
All right, 2 damages. It does have armor.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Bang! It says from the cellar.
And then I will use DiceBot for this so we can all see.
I might be doing some more surgery soon.
Watch the paint.
Oh, it made its attack roll exactly. So
Dice Parser says hi.
Yeah. So it is very strong.
I guess that part.
Oh god.
Ow.
16.
Yeah. 14 damage minus 2 because you were wearing your protective clothing. So
Yeah,
are you still alive?
No, at minus. I'm at minus 3.
Minus 3. All right. Actually, you know what? That damage bonus might be wrong. Let me double check that because
that's a pretty high damage bonus.
That is a very high. It is very strong. So let me double check the damage bonus. Its fists are D10. That is.
No,
it is.
I'm a little puzzled as to why the result's 5-9 when the order of dice is 10-6.
I think it sorts them out. I think it
That's
sorts
weird.
them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sorts them for some reason. It's used to sort them.
Yeah, that is weird. Let's see here. Where
We might
is
need to call in reinforcements.
damage bonus? All right, I'm gonna say it is actually 11 damage. It only has a +2 damage.
So
So
I'm
I
at
will-
0. I'm at 0.
Yeah.
That's
11
still
damage
dead.
-2, so you only take 9 damage. Actually,
And I have 9 hit points, so I'm at 0.
okay, so even with that, you're
Ah.
still dead.
He's dying right
he's dying.
now.
He's dying. Yeah,
He's
so-
fast, but not bulky.
All right, so it slams into you. You feel your chest cave in.
I mean, unless
You
I can
gurgle
roll a
up blood.
dodge.
We hear a funny little noise from downstairs.
Everyone give me sand check for unnatural as you hear a bellowing and violence.
We hear
yeah,
bang, squish.
yeah.
That's not
Unless
good.
I can roll dodge. to
Yeah.
try to
Oh
dodge the
no,
attack
no,
and
no,
use my
not
next
this one.
turn.
Nope. much?
So it's only a D4 if you fail, because you don't see the thing. So it's 3 if you fail.
Oh, okay, just 3.
Mhm.
Uh,
That's what I rolled.
Nothing
2,
if
so
you
why not?
succeed.
Nothing if you succeed. Yeah.
All right, I succeed.
All
Great.
right. So I'll just go down the order. So Dr. Royalty, what is your action?
I am going to, I think, go, oh shit, and then haul up.
Oh yeah, you also
Rick?
did pull out his robe and can see there is a nerve cluster on his back. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I am stuck between wanting to evacuate and not wanting to leave to indicate to this thing that we've discovered what's up, but the jig might be up already because there was a gunshot and something happening
I mean,
downstairs.
yeah, all we know is bang, squish.
Mhm.
Yes.
So if you can grab a sample, we can go.
Well, mentally, how long do I think it will take to grab a sample of black blood if I want to, grab any amount at all?
I mean, you just stab with hypodermic needle and a syringe and hope for the best. That's
Yep.
that's a medicine check.
Yes.
You don't know what that's going to do to him.
So
You
kill
can
it.
see this thing is like it has clear tendrils attached to it, so you could surgically excise it, but that's like an hour. Obviously, that's not
Yes.
something.
What if we took him with us?
That's
we're in combat
my-
time. You don't if you want to do extended debate, that's fine, but that's your action.
well, cover's blown, I say, and then I bend down to pick up Rick and fireman carry him out of here.
Okay.
Okay.
all
I'm
right.
with you.
All right, so Dr. Royalty and Carl are carrying Rick out of there.
I
Ancient
honestly,
Dungeon.
I grab a photo with one hand as we go.
Yeah.
Okay, since that's what they're doing, then I would like to I am rear guard for them as they're leaving, right? So I'm
you don't know that Agent Bale is down.
Yeah, you should.
You're right,
You're
you're
the
right,
only other one
you're
here
right.
that's armed.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't know that. You're right. But they said they're running out, and my idea was I was thinking I didn't get to tell them yet was to run out with them. That's I mean I don't know I can go investigate, but that isn't really what I would. My
If
guy
you
was gonna
don't
do.
check on your fellow agent, that's definitely going to be a helplessness check for all of you.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, I sort of expect.
Well, I didn't say I wasn't going to go back in and check, but I want to see them safely out first.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you can do that. All right. So you're all three carrying Rick out.
Who
Sure.
was the
Yeah.
driver?
All right.
I.
Yeah.
Anyone else have driving? Because I'm thinking no.
I also drive at 50, but that's well, I'm going to get you
No,
guys
We'll
out the
get
car.
it
then I'm-
started and leave the seat open just in case you make it. Be ready for us,
And-
one of us to leap in
Yeah,
there.
and then I'm going to recklessly go back in there and check on the other guy.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah, sure. I'll do this the careful way because there is
Yeah.
one of those.
I
Don't
mean,
worry about it.
dodge and
the
run
gun-
is your choice, not fight. Just saying.
The gun is drawn, and I'm approaching.
All
the
right. So all
stairs.
three of you are. So you are going down, or are you going to help them out? Help them out of the house.
First,
I have
first I'm helping them out.
65. I
Okay,
can
you're okay.
probably-
Well, one round at a time. So all three of you carry Rick out. With the three of you,
Yeah.
you get him out the front door this round, and to the car. Now, getting him in the car is going to be a separate round. So here's what happens: the three of you do that. You all abandon Agent Bale and take him to the car.
Yeah,
That'll be
I was
that'll
going to
be
go back in.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying what you did right now.
Yeah.
The birds doesn't take a clue that they really don't like this. They are flocking, they're flying overhead. and they are clearly getting ready to dive bomb or attack you next round. It's like they knew something shitty was going on. So I'll say you're all on the driveway with the door open to your SUV, and you hear stomping sounds coming from inside as a darkened, tall humanoid shape is in the hallway, looking at the three of you. So we'll just go down the line again. Dr. Royalty.
I do not have a gun.
All right, so give me strength times 5 to shove Rick Abbott in there.
Assuming that's what we're still doing.
Well, yeah,
I would like us to.
Well,
I would like us
one
to
person at a
keep
time.
that
Dr. Royalty, what are you doing?
I'm shoving.
All right,
Okay.
strength times 5.
4 under 65.
All right, he's in there. You're in the car. You can close the door. You're basically pulling him in the car, and you get him in there. So, Carl, what do you want to do? Do you want to get in the car and run around to the other side and get in the car, or do you want to do something else?
Yeah, I will pop into the driver's space and start the thing.
Okay. And Agent Dudgeon, what do you want to do?
So everyone else is in the car. I'd like to get out of here. I mean, I want to help them get out of here. But if everyone else is in the car, I want to get in the car and.
All right.
Okay.
Drive.
All right, all of you, give me a sand check for helplessness for abandoning Agent Bale.
But my as we're leaving, my gun is trained on the Frankenstein, so I assume
it's fine.
Close on us.
It's fine.
It's fine.
All right, make it. If 0 if you fail, if you make it.
I gotta make.
Actually, no, it's 1 if you fail. If you make it, because it's like
okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Hang on.
Oops. Being here for one of these live is its own kind of spooky. Well, the spooky is just getting started there, Harold. Yeah.
Everything's fine.
It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Crit success.
It's not supposed to go. Crit success.
I never liked him anyway.
Yeah.
You trade one man for the evidence you need, and then everything's fine.
All right.
I whisper to the doctor. Doctor's not like one of the FBI agents, right?
No.
I whisper to him, it's like, man, these agents are all the same.
All right, Doctor, driving. No, Carl, you're driving.
Yeah, I am.
Give me a drive check.
Low speed.
All right, give me a drive check plus 20 because you're doing low speed.
I mean,
I'm.
This is to
23 over 20.
Well, you get.
Oh wait, you said plus 20, so I make it.
So
that's why I was going low speed.
You're going at low speed. The creature steps out into the light, and you see this Frankenstein abomination. It looks more like Tetsuo the Iron Man, if you've seen that, but like a man with parts from electronics things filling in the gaps, clearly made from different body parts. Is very angry, but with that, you keep him away. He's not able to touch the car. However, the birds start dive bombing the car.
That's fine.
And they start like slamming into it, turning themselves into meat pastes. It's bad.
So Doc, maybe get a sample and we let him out of the car gently so they don't keep following us, maybe.
Well, you need driving. Give me one more drive check.
Again, I'm not going at high speed. I know better.
Yeah, plus 20.
No.
All right.
Bird on windshield, clip the curb.
Yeah, basically, the creature is going to be able to make an attack. It's going to try and grab on, and it has...
Can I try to shoot it? Because I've been tracking the whole time.
Yeah, you can.
That sounds like an aim bonus. Yeah,
it does miss. No, because you failed your drive check. The car jumps.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can make a standard firearms check and shoot through the back window at the creature. It misses trying to grab onto the car.
34 under 50. Actually made it. Woohoo!
All right. Roll damage.
All right. Is it one die? I think
1d10. It's a handgun does 1d10.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right.
1 damage.
1 damage. So he is still chasing. Now you don't have to make another check. The birds stop attacking you after you leave the neighborhood, but the creature is still running after you. You're able to accelerate more, but
I will get up onto a highway and get moving
Okay.
Well,
safely.
we need to like Delta Green is not going to be happy if we drag a zombie after us onto
All right.
the highway.
Also, your car has a lot of like fleshy blood chunks on it.
That'll blow off.
Yeah.
Okay.
well,
Dan, I want you to make. You're
We'll
the
go to
driver.
a car wash.
Actually, you know what? Car wash. But if the monster's following us all this way, I need to be going fast enough it doesn't. Then we go to a car wash.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. You're driving for an extended period of time. Give me. I want you to choose high or low, and then make a percentile roll. This is a luck check.
I'm gonna go low.
All right, roll D100.
50. That's technically low.
It is low. You were not pulled over by the cops. And you
That
get
was
the
what I was hoping.
Yeah, you get a car wash. Your car is now washed.
And
What
I
are you
assume we
gonna-
lost the monster as far as we know.
It's out of sight right now. You're in a
That's
car and it's on foot.
All right.
Wouldn't it? Sorry. Wouldn't it be? No, I know we can't do this, but wouldn't it be funny if we could summon up an Uber and send the guy back in an Uber?
I mean, that's
Well,
not a terrible idea, honestly.
while we are car washing,
Mhm.
I am going to take close-up photos of these
Mhm.
tumors,
Mhm.
write
Good
off a slight, brief, abbreviated report to Handler Smith, and hand it off to whoever was the main contact to contact Handler Smith.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Verified.
So, Trushi, if you want to pick a special forces guy, you could be reinforcement, and you could pick a heavy weapon of your choice to bring, as well as a long gun. Yeah. So, you could be thinking about that. You've given enough evidence. They want you to bring this into back to St. Louis. So yeah.
Okay. I'm fine with just keep driving. We did leave someone back there, but I don't.
Yeah,
think he's with
that's
us.
part of the abbreviated report.
Yeah.
Bale did not
You
extract.
bailed on bail.
Yeah, you did bail on bail.
Bale did not exit
There
the
was
house
gunfire.
behind the monster.
Something came after us. Bale did not extract.
So you could do that. I'm gonna get some more water, so I'll be right back. And Trushi, you can pick a new character.
AFK briefly
Agent
also.
Strad is coming back from his retirement.
Yeah. So I'll be right back.
Okay, so out of character, I kind of feel bad about abandoning a player, but in character, he does not. I'm sorry, he does not care. He's like, whatever, it's the mission. Like he would have gone back for you, but then the monster's right there, and it's like, yeah, no. Like the thing that made sense to do was the target, the asset, whatever, was this guy or the cluster. That was the important part. You know.
We
Now,
definitely did the mission thing. And
the
I
agents are
set that
good
ball
people.
rolling, so you should not feel guilty. And I'm guilty. I don't feel guilty. That's how I live.
Don't worry, we all gonna die.
Oh yeah. No, but Agent Dugan, he's just like, yeah, whatever. It's the mission. We're just doing the mission.
Concentrate.
I think Agent Dudgeon is just glad that wasn't him.
Well, also that, but who wouldn't be?
TPK. Well,
because that was kind of. I mean,
you're allowed to call for that. We've definitely summoned your ire there.
That was basically the other option. Is we I mean, with the car, we might have a slight chance. So maybe one or two of us make it out of there. Maybe if all we have to face is the Frankenstein, the birds don't pose too much of a challenge. But other than that, I don't see how we're getting out of there.
I mean,
yeah.
we got lucky that I got to that basement. Like, if you would come after us, the team, that would be worse.
I mean, we could have started doing the surgery in the house, and then it comes up on us.
Yeah.
From behind.
Frankenstein guy was quick.
My idea was to sedate him, do the surgery there, and that was basically he would be more cooperative because he was clearly not in the right mind if I sedated him, and that's why I did it. In the sense that he would have no choice but to cooperate. We are awful people at times. That's our job.
All right, I am back. Who else is here?
On the upside, I can now do proper surgery on Rick and maybe give him a bunch of anti-anxiety and stuff and talk him through his problems a bit and maybe we can see if he actually recovers or not.
Yeah, you can give me a psychotherapy check. The surgery.
Well, I probably have to do surgery first.
I'll give you
or-
plus 20 on the surgery. They have a facility for this kind of thing, and you transfer them there. This is top priority, but yeah, you'll be the lead, and it's a relatively simple procedure now that you have the program's backing. So yeah,
and
surgery plus
he's
20.
sedated.
Yeah.
All right. That is 57, and yes, that's a success.
Yeah, you extract the thing and stop his bleeding easily. So yeah, and you're able to extract black blood from it. The nerve cluster starts convulsing or dying pretty much as soon as you detach him from it. It's clearly parasitic or symbiotic, probably parasitic actually. And you are able to extract 3 whole units of black blood from it. And you could use one for research analysis purposes and the other 2 for whatever you want. And
Well,
depending, yeah.
I will touch that landmine later.
Yeah. But give me a psychotherapy check for him.
Yeah. Right. And I'm damn good at that, and I make
We're gonna fast forward a couple days because you need to get a new member.
Okay, yeah. It's some on one of those nights I drink a beer in salute to Bale. You see, it was all totally worth it
for us.
Mission done.
We got the data and the information.
Well, we have a body there, and this thing seems to be doing things with bodies, so that's not great. Like, I don't think it's normal that we can have a Frankenstein running around.
Speaking of which, what happens to that?
Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, you can be criminology check to check the local, see if
Oh, it might not be real. We could have just been mind whammied.
That's true. I make it.
Yeah.
Oh no, there are multiple reports of a Bigfoot or a naked or a monster or people throughout Lafontaine, and then you start picking up more. A couple of reports along the highway on the way to St. Louis, and they kind of stop after about a day. But yeah, there were multiple reports of a weirdo attacking people or running through the road. Out of Lafontaine, heading to the northeast.
Maybe its battery ran out.
Okay, so one thing, oops, mistakes are made, but also this is kind of, scary also, but also fascinating in the sense that you have here, it seems like what you have here is one type of horror, which then, beget entirely different kind of horror.
Well, it might not be different. It might be the exact same thing, just, an offspring. We could have perpetuated this by letting one of the more mobile variants of this run away. This is like a serious problem. We'll be investigating this later.
Did you make your psychotherapy check?
Yes.
He when you realize the key to breaking through him is proving to him that modular synergy did not hire him. That's the core of his delusions. Yep. And with that, you're able to sort of like wake him out of his delusions. And he like the last couple of years have been kind of a dream state for him. He was unaware that he had a surgical or a nerve cluster attached to him. He was blind to it. I
will medical jargon at him so that he thinks he's, still sane and hasn't been infested by a psychic parasite.
Yep. So, yeah, but yeah, Trushi, have you picked who's your new character?
It's gonna be the Agent Thrall coming back from his retirement.
Thrall, good old Thrall.
Thrall, okay. Yeah, what kind of weapons do you want Thrall to have? Bring to bear.
I mean, he has a very good memory with flamethrower that's blown on his back.
All right, yeah, you got a flamethrower, and I'll say an assault rifle and a pistol too. And bulletproof armor, 4 points of armor. So, but yeah, actually, Agent Thrall, you get to this facility. It's outside of St. Louis, and you're kind of checking in with the others, and this is where you have Abbott, Mr. The engineer, held, and You can give me an alertness check.
That's gonna be a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Just the doctor or anyone else?
Just Agent Thrall for right now.
I made it. 21 over 60.
Oh, there's something like watching from across the street in the darkness. So it's at night. You're in this office building that's been turned into a covert facility for the program. And it's sort of in an office park out in the outskirts, sort of an isolated area. And there's a figure staring at you from across the road, the access road, sort of hiding in the bushes.
I'm gonna zoom on my smartphone to look closer to it without coming to it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a large dude. You can't really make out many. It doesn't seem like he's wearing much in the way of clothing, but he's got like some piece of metal taped to his face or something.
Okay, I'm gonna call someone from the inside.
Okay.
There is someone observing the place.
Okay. Who are you calling? You can choose. You have the other 3 agents.
I think I'm gonna call. What are your names? Give me a second.
Dudgeon was the federal agent.
I think I'm gonna call the Agent Dungeon.
Okay.
Dungeon.
All right.
Totally.
All right. So Agent Dungeon, you get a call from Agent Thrall. Yeah.
Hello, what's up?
Someone is observing the place. You know the guy? And I sent him a crappy picture.
Oh, that's the creature. It tracked you here somehow.
Oh, dear.
Really, that's what I see.
Yeah.
I was telling them, oh, that's the creature. Oh,
What creature? What?
You have not been briefed.
Oh no, you haven't been briefed.
well, I mean, yeah, really. Hang on, let me call in everyone else on this. I'm gonna let everyone else know.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey guys, our new guy just showed up. Funny thing, look, it's the creature.
Oh, God.
It's the creature. Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that's the creature.
All right,
That
so
needs
are
to
we
go.
So,
You're
we all
no.
at the facility?
You're all at the facility.
and
You've
then
been studying
and
this
then I put it on mute for a second so you can't hear. I'm like, so what the hell do we tell him to do? And then I unmute it.
I'll say, Thrall, you're right outside the building, so you can run inside and lock the doors if you want. That's pretty easy. He is across the street. He would have a ways to run to get to you. But you definitely only have a sidearm on you right now. You do not have your flamethrower and your assault rifle are inside. So
I mean, I'm gonna get the briefing about what kind of creature are they talking about.
yeah, you just showed up, and basically you showed up. They told you there's a new mission. Bring heavy gear, and then your first thing is check the perimeter, make sure everything's secure. Then I can get my briefing. You know, your first thing is that the perimeter is not secure. There's this thing.
Yeah.
There's this
That's
dude
where-
across the street. Yeah.
That's where it all went wrong. And I'm not quite sure what to tell him. Like, I mean, I would prefer to tell him to get the hell out of there, but I'm not sure if that's gonna excite get the creature to go after him right away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm stuck at. My question, which
Well, you should tell him to
Which way
get
to-
in here and
to roll
lock the
that die?
door, and so we can tell him what's going on.
all right, tell him to do that then.
Okay. Yeah. Do you do that?
Because obviously just going after it with a pistol or underprepared is bad.
No, I wasn't quite sure if it had spotted him already or not.
It's looking at him. Yeah.
We're about to find out.
So Thrall, are you going to walk inside and lock the door?
I'm gonna walk in, lock the door, and is
I
there
guess
any way to
basically-
observe it still?
If it didn't work, I didn't
Well,
want
are you going to keep an eye on it from
inside?
inside, or are you going to go inside to talk to the others and lose sight of it?
I think I'm gonna.
I mean,
keep
we
observing
should
it.
come out to the door to talk to him.
Okay. All right.
Because we shouldn't be discussing this on a phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Carl, you go up there. Doctor of Royalty, you were studying the black blood probably, or no, talking
Yep.
to Abbott, one of
Well,
those.
one of the two. Yep.
Yeah.
Has the tumor been excised?
Yes, it has.
Was there more than one?
No, there's just one. It was.
How many gallons of black blood do we have to
You
make
got
weapons?
you got
Well,
3
3
units of it. Like
That's
you
pretty
know,
good.
Yeah, one can be used to analyze it, research. Actually, Delta Green definitely wants 1, so you really have 2 that you can play around with. Yeah.
All right. And here's the story to date. I'm so sorry. Welcome to the team.
Yeah, give me a sand check, Thrall.
And look how I.
But I'm going to
failed.
say, with high journalism and persuade skills,
I
it's a very
failed.
clear explanation.
All right.
I'm helping.
Lose 4. Yeah, this is fucked.
You were too informative.
And also that's
And
not
with
a
journalistic
dude. That's an
integrity.
undead monster of some kind or something. You don't know what the fuck it is.
Think of it as a machine, really.
Oh yeah, it actually
Made of
crawls
meat.
back in further into the bushes and you lose sight of it. So
The question is whether it's following us or is it following Rick? Maybe
I think
both.
it's following him.
So you've lost sight of it. It's in the darkness.
Wait, you're saying we rolled with Rick?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Anyway,
Yeah. You're all in the same building. You do have security cameras, so somebody can go to the security station, look through all the cameras, see if you can spot it. Yeah.
Cameras
Yeah,
in
sure.
general, good thing. We know there's something out here that only cameras can spot. This is not that thing. That's something else.
it's good that it's not invisible. Also,
All
hey,
right, give me an alertness check.
alertness. Oh, that's a crit fail.
All right, you don't see it. You're confident it's not doing anything.
I missed turning on all the cameras.
Oh, what was
Or
that
all the
supposed to do, yeah?
monitors.
Oh yeah, no, actually, yeah, with the crit fail, yeah, you fuck up the security camera setting, so like you're not going to get any usable feed without
Yeah.
resetting all the cameras. Yeah,
There is no focus.
Can I try to computer
roll
science to fix them?
sand for helplessness. Oh, you fucked all the cameras up. You
Well, hey,
fucked-
but before I roll stand for helplessness, can I?
no, just
can I
Carl,
roll-
because Carl's the one who crit failed. Like he's
Yep.
Okay, can
It's
I roll
fine.
computer science?
That's normal operations. Things happen.
Can I roll computer science to try to undo the fuck up?
Yeah, sure. That'll take you some time though. So that's what
All
Carl and Agent Dungeon are doing. Dr. Royalty and Thrall, what are you two
I made
doing?
it. 31
Well,
under 70.
Yeah.
I would
Me
like
neither.
to interview Thrall and ask him about his capacity for violence and whether these things that we have witnessed could be dealt with in a timely manner if we are to go to that area again, and however we're going to get rid of this Frankenstein that's following us.
I mean, make it go inside and do a kill zone and shoot it until it's dead.
It seems careful enough not to fall for that. We also don't know if it's following us or Rick specifically. What we could do is we could send Rick off and back to his hellhole home or somewhere else and see if it follows him.
What does the program want us to do with him is, I guess, the other question.
Well, you haven't had time to. I mean, this guy just showed the creature just showed up. The
Right.
Frankenstein.
No. What do they want us to do with the victim?
Oh, keep
Or
him for analysis.
vector.
Yeah. Keep him for. We want to study him. So,
Well,
I'm so sorry.
okay.
yeah.
You know what? If the program wants,
We'll
then the
put him in
program-
We'll put him in a patient facility for long-term observation, and you know.
If the program
Yeah.
wants him, then the program should send in some heavy artillery to take care of the creature.
Well, the creature just showed up. They didn't know they would need heavy artillery, so yeah.
I'm just saying,
Agent Thrall was
that's
the
the
heavy
best
artillery,
thing.
and then,
Yeah. So
I
Thrall, are you getting your flamethrower out and ready for use?
I think the flamethrower not gonna be good against that thing, so I'm probably gonna use the assault carbine.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
all right.
pistols
I
seems
think
subpar.
both.
All right. So you get
I mean,
so you go to your the room.
I think
where
this thing is material enough that should work based on what we've seen.
So you're getting your assault
I-
rifle out, not the flamethrower.
Yeah.
I suggest both. I strongly suggest
Well,
both.
they're big guns. You can only wield
Yeah.
one at a time.
We have one Thrall.
Yeah, I know.
One.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we can always plant a bomb and get the guy to follow this thing.
Probably.
He's after Rick, but if he needs to survive.
No,
that's
no,
not-
Yeah,
only
yeah.
for
You
the
don't you don't have permission to blow up a civilian as a trap for a monster. So the all right.
You don't
So
ask. Yes.
all of you hear glass break from somewhere in the building.
Found it.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, you
God.
don't. Yeah, Agent Dungeon, did you make your computer science check?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see it steps through. It somehow got close enough to the side of the building to punch through one of the windows and climb in. With teamwork and coordination, Thrall, you can get in front of it and on the other end of a hallway if you run. You don't have to make a check. You just have to jog down and turn a left. So do you want to confront it and shoot it?
Yep, that's the plan.
All right.
Pull out.
All right. Yeah, that's I believe. Yeah, go ahead and roll firearm standard. You see it down the hallway, and it is.
And I'm gonna miss, obviously. 90 over 60.
All right,
Yep.
cool.
Yep. Dice parser wants blood.
It
Ours.
charges after you. It needs to make an athletics check, and it makes its athletics check. It bounds against you with very fast speed. So now it is within punching range, so it is going to try and punch you, and it misses. So a fist goes through a wall, missing your head, and it rips its fist out of the wall, ready for another round. So
I have a question. Did anyone else join Thrall in this kill zone that we were trying
you
to
sure
coordinate?
can.
Thinking about it.
I
Sure, why
will
not?
probably be armed
Okay,
now, but I'm not good at that.
sure.
So if somebody else wants to shoot before I do and crit hit somebody,
Okay. Well, are you going to be in combat or not? sounds like you are.
ideally I don't want to. If somebody else wants
You have to tell me if
that
you're
would-
going to the hallway where
Okay.
you hear shooting or not.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll
you
go
are
to the
going to the
hallway where
hallway.
you're
You're
shooting.
shooting. Okay.
If everyone else is going, I'm going.
All right, Carl.
I
you
have
also-
no intention of going out there. Do we have
All right.
weapons here that we could use though?
Yeah, you all have handguns.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
Well, we know how well those work. Yep.
So, well, I mean, if you had firearms trained, you could get a longer gun.
I'll say I'm with Thrall because I was with Thrall when this
Okay,
event
sure.
happened.
So the we'll start again with Thrall, because Thrall has a gun, and we'll just go down in order of dex. This thing has a dex of 8, so unless you have a dex of 8, it is big and strong, but it is a bit clumsy. So
Yeah. Now that the cameras are working again, I will let them know if it leaves the hallway.
I mean, Thrall will see it. So go ahead and Thrall, give me another firearms check.
You know what I mean. I'll help from there.
Yeah.
Okay, if I made the basic roll.
Okay. So roll. Let's roll lethality.
So D100, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, no,
Okay,
it is immune to lethality at 10% or less. So roll a D12 plus 2 for standard damage.
I mean, if it's a huge target, it takes the lethality amount of damage. So it will
Well, I'm
take
using Cthulhu Eternal rules,
okay.
which give it certain monsters have resistance to lethality. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
So D12 plus 2 for standard damage.
11 and
well,
it's
that's better.
83.
Yeah.
And
All right.
it's
8.
83.
All right, so yeah, it takes a bunch of damage. It is still up though, and it is very mad. So it is going to try and let's hear. Well, actually, no, it's slow though. So yeah, Royalty,
I have a dex
what's your
11.
dex? Yeah, so
11.
all right, yeah, both of you get to go before it can try again. So
Is it point blank for me now? I don't want it to be.
it is point blank, but you're also shooting a melee, so no penalty,
yeah.
no bonus. So yeah.
Okay, I'll wait with be the last one to shoot because I'm hesitating.
Well, it's whether you shoot this round or not. Like, you can spend this
I'm
round
also
to
going
aim.
to shoot.
I think we were on 11,
I'll
both
shoot.
of us. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you have
I'll
to
shoot
shoot.
then.
All right.
okay, well
Yeah.
then I'll shoot.
Yeah,
I
but
missed.
you okay? No, it's fine. Anyway, did I get 39 under 50? I made it.
All right. Roll D10.
Slowly typing. 4 damage.
All right. Which becomes 3. So it has.
Blink.
Yeah. It does
Guys,
not.
I think
It
I
only has
think
2
we
hit
got him on
points,
the
and
right-
it does not pass out from pain because it feels no pain. So it's going to make one last attack on our good friend Thrall.
Sorry, did you say it was almost at hit points?
Yeah, that
Or is
will
nothing?
hit.
Can he dodge?
No, he spent his action.
Oh, disappointing.
Yeah. However, you have 4 points of armor, which so your trauma plate snaps in half. But you do not take any damage, Thrall. As you're only bruised. So yeah, you could fire again.
Fuck you, Tink.
Get him! Get him!
Made it.
All right, you cannot help but kill it. You only have to do. There's no roll you can do that will not kill it.
Cool.
So
do we have to worry about the gunfire at this location?
No, fortunately.
Isolated.
Well,
Rick might be curious what's going on, but
yeah, he's very confused about what's happening, but that is you don't have to roll to come up with a lie for him.
So
yeah.
Can I get another look around outside, see if any of the damn birds or anything else follows?
Yeah, sure.
Also,
yeah, that's easy to do.
82, but I didn't touch any of the controls. Still miss.
Yeah, it's fine. You're fine.
we're good. Nothing followed us home other than this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And no part of it's crawling off on its own.
Thing.
No. It as soon as you did enough damage to its integrity, it just kind of collapsed and broke down into its constituent parts. There's a the flesh chunks are unstitched together. It just now this horrible biohazard mess on the floor.
Well, more samples for Delta Green.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
it's been a pretty weird day.
Does this count as vanquishing a mythos foe?
Yeah, a minor one. I'll give you one sand back, everybody, for stopping this creature.
Why does this keep happening to me? I'm back on full.
All right.
Yeah.
So the you have 2 units of black blood you can play with.
Is there any more in the critter?
Yes, we need to weaponize it.
Not in this creature. This creature does
Okay.
not have black blood in it. It is.
It might be more like the birds.
Yeah. It seems the flesh has. You don't have any samples of the birds. Actually, no. You know because you went to the car wash.
We had samples of the bird. We had plenty of samples of the bird.
No, you went to the car wash to get rid of it. You didn't have time to really get good samples of it.
Okay, well,
you were in a hurry to get out of town. Remember?
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, unless we had one person who's just always.
But it looks to be similar to the birds,
the look
right?
of the birds.
Yeah, so it looks like he made this thing out of like dead people or dead servant or dead monster thing flesh and electronics. So yeah,
weird science.
Yeah, very weird science, but only the nerve cluster had black blood in it. So do you have biology, Dr. Royalty?
Yes, I do.
All right, give me a biology check.
I have biochemistry, if that's useful.
Yeah, you can roll that too.
Oh, I fail. I'm not smart enough.
Nope.
All right, it's not anything you've seen before. You can't.
This is not science.
It's very unnatural. Whatever it's doing to Rick Abbott. Yeah, you'll have to keep him under observation.
This is science resistant.
Yeah. Well, you're also like 2 people doing it with a limited lab and resources. You can ship that unit off to the program where they have top men looking at it. You know, they have top
definitely
scientists.
not just gonna toss it into an incinerator and call it a day.
Oh no, they actually do want to fucking see if they can weaponize this shit. They're definitely going to analyze this. Delta Green needs to make money too somehow.
Wait, now what?
Yeah, don't worry about it. March Technologies, what's that?
I thought that's who started this.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, ignorance is strength.
Yep. So your handler wants you to kill this thing.
We did.
No, the real thing.
Yeah, this does not seem to be entity.
Cool. You should get a combat team to do that.
The fact that well, okay, yeah. So out of character, if you want to say, yeah, we're done, we're not going in here, send a combat team, we could just end the scenario here. You did accomplish the first part, but if you want to take a whack at the thing, the entity, you can go back. You can certainly make a case and be like, this is not our jurisdiction. This is not
Well,
yeah.
Okay, but I mean, my case is I we could go back in, but it has to be just kind of a ridiculous disguise limit. We probably blow ourselves up with the flamethrower type of a deal. That seems
Well,
like more
Thrall,
fun.
you can give me a military science check.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to go into the junkyard and find the root cause, because going after the critters isn't going to do the job.
I
Yeah,
made
I'm
mine.
just saying.
5 under 60.
506. All right, so here's what you figure out, Thrall. This thing's territorial, and it was guarding its food supply, right? It might be hiding in the junkyard, but you don't want to find the junkyard because that's a nightmare. You want it to come to you, and you want it to fight it in the residential zone. So you need to, if you one, it's only going to come out at night because it didn't come after you during the day. 2, you need to agitate, it probably will attack you on sight if you're there at night. So you can either hole up in one of the abandoned houses, wait for it to show up, and then ambush it, or you figure if you go there at night, you're going to be facing it pretty soon, and it really wants to kill you.
So you're saying if we home alone a house, we might be able to take it out?
Well, it'll definitely, you need to wait for it to show up because it'll have to walk from the junkyard to the neighborhood.
Sure.
And it's probably, you don't want to be out in the open where the birds and God knows what else can attack you. So
basically we want to go there during the day, barricade a house, and then threaten its food supply.
Yeah. I don't think we need to threaten the food supply.
I mean, you already threatened the food supply, so you got that off. It's
what he's saying is, if we set up a bunker kind of place that has one way in and hopefully a death chute out, should be okay. But
and it probably, if it's fleshy, the flamethrower is going to do some work on it for sure.
I mean, also, how do we use the black blood? All we know is
you have 2 units of the black blood. So you could load it up in trank darts.
How about a mister or a spray?
Oh yeah, that would require a check of some kind.
To be in close proximity with it, unless we do some remote fuckery.
That was also part of the plan, is not being there, or at least not being where it can find us.
I mean, remember, we need to look on it camera. We cannot look on it, perceive it.
Right. Yeah, camera only.
Well, I can test if we can mist it.
You can make a mist for it, but like making the pharmacy check, I guess.
Or we just get like an insect spray, pump gun.
Well, it's turning a liquid into something that you can spray.
Good news, I failed that.
Okay.
Oh darn. Well, I guess it doesn't work.
It is not something you can do. So
it's too coagulative. It won't mist.
Yeah, it just turns into.
I can't make it.
As a side effect, we're not creating an airborne problem.
Yeah, so that unit of black blood you can put into a syringe, but that's about all you can do with it without losing it. So, yeah.
What about anti-personnel bomb with everything coated in it?
That's demolitions. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying we have that expertise, but does someone?
20%.
Well, Thrall, do you have it? Yeah.
40 at demolitions.
Yeah.
That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, give me a demolitions check.
Can I try to roll my
40? I made it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you can have a
blood bomb
detonated black blood bomb. So yeah.
So yeah, full of nails and screws and things that'll make sure it penetrates.
Yeah. So
we get one chance.
You get one chance. Well, you also have one syringe of it.
Yeah.
So you can have it in a trank gun, or you can have it as a handheld.
If we do a trank gun, could we get more than one shot out of it, or no?
Well, you failed that check with it, Mister. So no, you kind of fucked up some of the unit.
The question is, do we want a trank gun? I think we want a trank gun.
All right, yeah, you don't have to make a roll for that. You have your one black blood dart,
one black blood bomb,
and a flamethrower, which might help. I mean, if it's made of flesh, it'll probably burn.
We're not 100% clear it is, though.
Yeah, that's true. You're not.
The translucent strings that you were cutting, did they they just kind of disappear after you cut them, right?
The translucent strings?
You said it was like loot,
Veins.
like the
I
things
remove
that
the
was holding
veins.
Connecting it
the
to the rest of
yeah,
the
tumor
system.
on.
Oh, no, there were tendrils.
Tendrils, yeah, the tendrils. They just kind of fade away and shrivel after disconnecting.
No, they just when you no, they were very physical.
You hang loose?
It's
Okay.
when you disconnected the nerve cluster from Abbott, it started convulsing and dying.
Okay.
So the thing was clearly parasitic. It needed him to.
Yeah.
We have it on ice now. So
Yeah,
Yep.
it's on ice, but yeah, it's a weird fucking thing. Yeah, but it's not translucent. It did not seem ghostly or ethereal or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
good.
Basically,
It's-
brainworms.
It
Yeah.
certainly seems for us, since we have a plan and
Mhm.
perhaps a way to kill this thing.
Yeah.
If not, we should have a getaway ready. But
No. Also, we should have a getaway ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull
Yeah.
2 kilos of C4. That's the
Can-
getaway thing.
Can we
All right, yeah.
leave? Can we leave the victim here as a turnover for the
Yeah.
program?
Yeah. No, they want to keep them. They're going to
I
keep them for
figured.
observation for the long term. So yeah, you
Well-
turn all this shit over to another team will research it. But your job is to go kill it.
if we can take out that thing, or at least disable it, then we can extract all the black blood we want from the other residents.
Exactly. Yeah. So you'll
Well, no, someone could go in and extract it.
Yeah. They'll get another team to mop up, but they want you to. You've already had field experience,
Yeah. So okay, so who's getting who has decent firearm skill? Anyone?
Not me.
I have 50. 50.
I think Thrall has a good firearm.
Well, Thrall is both our demolition guy and our best gun guy, I think. So
Well, he made a demolition chick, so he can make like a remote detonated bomb. You push a button, it blows up. So
Oh, good.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
I mean, that may alone do the thing if it's if that
Yeah.
stuff really reacts with it.
Yeah.
Question is, am I shooting or am I burning?
Well, I think what we want is to lure it into a house through like basically an easy to open but not obviously open door. Weaken the roof so when it explodes, it goes up, not into the rest of the house with us. Right?
Mhm.
Sounds like a plan.
And then if it gets through that room, then we try it with the poison trank and, flamethrower follow-up.
Yeah.
And, all of it through like camera goggles or whatever.
So which house are you going to set up in?
In fact, can we get some cheap night vision stuff?
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
that way you're looking through a image intensifier.
that's true.
I
Well,
think we should go
number
with the
two
second. Number two,
is
I
the
would say.
closest one to leaving the place and also close to the.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Also, we have a
that's-
reason to be there.
that's where
because
this
we can
plan is
say,
gone.
Police reasons. We're looking up after this
All right.
missing person case.
All right. So you roll back to the you're rolling back into the neighborhood. You're driving back into the neighborhood.
And we camera up the area as best we
Mhm.
can around so we can know when it's coming.
So we'll do this as a montage as you drive into the house and rush in and close the door as the birds silently fly overhead looking for someone to step outside long enough to dive bomb.
Mhm.
So the birds are already agitating. They're watching. And you can
And
set
this
up.
is like early
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah, I mean, they're just there 24/7. So like, so everyone give me a
Early
sand
bird
check
technique.
for entering this for unnatural because you're going in the belly of the beast or you're
Yep.
setting up for a siege. And let's see here.
And
It's
I
just
failed.
one. It's one if you fail.
I
Okay.
failed my
Yeah.
by one.
All right, it's not great. And we'll just kind of go. You can spend your day fortifying. You can spend your day setting up cameras or being on Overwatch.
Well, I mean, what
Yeah.
skill is most appropriate for camera setup?
Journalism would work for you since
Okay.
you're yeah.
Okay, then I'll get the cameras up and running now.
SIGINT
and
or
everyone,
videography, yeah, something like that.
and everyone should have like a GoPro with the display like
Mhm.
visible
So
and or night vision stuff.
yeah, for fortifying, you could use military science. Yeah, that would work. So Thrall, if you want to fortify the place.
Do we need to
Okay.
roll, or are we just able to set it up?
Well, the important thing is to set up the trap so that we can black bomb it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
Successful.
trap.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Military science fumble.
cool.
Not as reinforced as we thought.
No, it's super reinforced, guys.
Maybe
It's
not.
fine.
It's safe.
So what shape is how does the trap activate? Are you just planning it somewhere hidden outside, or like what's the deal?
I mean, I was hoping we could like build a box as the entranceway, so the door is easy to open, and then it's got something harder to open. That's
Okay.
when the bomb goes off while it's trying to get through the next barrier.
Okay, yeah. So and Thrall sets it up perfectly. So yeah,
Great.
So, yeah. You're good to go.
Good girl.
Yeah.
We also have a secondary exit that's non-obvious from the outside. Yeah, that's the ticket.
I mean, there's
Well,
a back
all
door,
windows are
Yeah.
secondary exits.
and there's
technically
also
speaking.
windows. Yeah.
Yeah, we parked the vehicle next to the, right up against the back door. Or is there a garage?
There is a garage. Yeah.
Oh, is the garage accessible from the house?
The power's cut. You can't open the garage door. You have to open up.
Well-
Man. Yeah.
I mean, that's easy enough to rig.
Yeah.
Someone
All
have
right.
mechanics?
Nope.
Anyone?
Nope.
Operate heavy machinery counts for.
I
garage door?
have that actually, but
Yeah,
not great.
Yeah. You try it. See if you can get the garage door open and closed.
What
Alright.
is the skill for mechanics? Is
I
that
failed by
mechanics?
one.
It's a craft one.
No.
Oh, well, I
I
could
failed
have
by
it.
one.
All right. So with a fail, you can get it closed, but one of the birds will peck you. As it takes a while, one of them gets in and is going to make an attack on you. So,
Do we still have any reason for a mechanics check?
if you have mechanics, you can make that instead.
Well, what I have is craft undefined. So
Okay,
it's
yeah,
kind of up
craft
to you.
mechanics. Yeah.
Nope. 57
Alright.
over 20. It was fun to try.
All right. So one of the birds comes in and tries to dive bomb you, but it smashes against the wall.
Samples?
Yeah. You get some gooey samples. Yeah.
All right.
But
Correct.
the four of you have set up in the house. You've set up your trap as best you can. You have a way out. And you just you realize if you leave the house now, the birds will just slam into you. Like you're
Right.
trapped
Whereas
now.
if we take the thing down, then that should solve the other problem.
Yeah. So
Hopefully.
night falls as you spend the long day in a house without power and no working water.
We were smart enough to bring water also in the vehicle.
Oh sure, yeah. I'm not making a roll for that. It's just like an awful house, it's just an awful, should be condemned house.
Yeah.
I mean,
I asked the question whether we should be on anti-anxiety, tarot. Is there any kind of drug I can give us that won't take us out badly?
That will make it like
reduce-
less able to feed on us, but it's got such a big food supply. I don't know that it matters.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
I just don't want that to infect us, whatever it is.
Yeah, you don't know how that works. That's yeah.
It seems like it takes at least a little while.
Yeah.
That is true.
As night falls, all of you are watching out through the windows, watching through the cameras. Everyone give me an alertness check.
Yeah, my not great skill. And I make it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 40 under 60.
Made mine. 51 under 60.
51 under 60. And I think it failed.
Nope.
Did fail. All right. Let's see here. It does have a you normally would succeed, but it has a size penalty. And let's see here. Stealth. Oh no, it does fail. Just straight up fails. So yeah, all of you who make it see the entity.
Uh-huh.
And it's the cover art. It's big. It's over 20 feet tall. It's a giant.
It's going to tear the roof off rather than walk in. That's could
Yep.
be a problem.
Yeah.
And
So
I failed my sanity roll.
all right. I'm just gonna
Oh, yeah,
roll
good point.
this. Yeah. So if you make your sand check, It's
Yes.
3.
Wow.
Yep, makes sense.
If you fail, it's 8.
I'm gonna project.
Okay, but I didn't. Okay, but I wasn't alert. So do I need to make this sand check now, or wait a minute?
You don't have to make it yet.
Yeah.
We
Maybe
can
I'll
roll
in advance.
separately for you later.
Doesn't
Yeah,
help.
All right, yeah, fight, flight, or free. Actually, you could project to suppress. Yeah, no, not you can project to, or you can suppress temporary insanity. So you lose a bond and willpower, and you don't lose, and you still lose all the sand, but you can still act normally if you want.
Oh, okay, then I'm gonna suppress.
All right, so that's another D4 off a bond, and I think you actually have to make a sand check for that. Let's see here.
We've rarely used rules.
Yeah.
I mean, I made it if I needed.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Either way, it's fine.
Let's see here. Yeah.
Well, I lost 4 points with my ex-wife.
All right, yeah. So you're not doing great, but you can still act. So does anybody panic or going to fight, flight, or freeze?
What panicking? What's the problem?
Okay, yeah, you're fine. So it's coming out of the tree line from the direction of the basically towards the back of the house. And
Oh, good. It's coming from the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to move the bomb.
So what we'll do. So its action is just moving this around. It is purposely walking towards you all.
Someone with athletics is going to need to huck that thing at it, I think.
Yeah, and let's see here. There are current hell effect. Let's see here.
You want me to run with the bomb?
Okay, so yeah, it'll do that first. But so it spins this round. So we'll just go from top to bottom, and just since you're all acting this. So Thrall, what are you gonna do this round?
I mean, I'm asking them if you want me to run with the bomb to it.
I mean, throw it at it. That's also athletics.
So you want to retrieve the bomb from the trap?
Yeah, because the trap's in the front. Because I wasn't thinking. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah.
I accepted that I had not much to say there, since I was not the expert.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking about front doors are used by humans.
Yeah, this is combat round by round. So Thrall, what are you going to pick up the bomb, retrieve it this round? All right, so you pick up the bomb. You don't have to roll for that. You have the bomb in hand. So Dr. Royalty, what are you going to do?
There's not much I can do. All I can do is pray.
Okay,
and move away from the back of the house, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
Carl, what are you gonna do?
Moving away from the back of the house. I've got the sad little pistol that probably won't help. Yeah.
All right. Agent Dudgeon, what are you going to do?
Well, things have escalated rather quickly. First of all, I'm not sure if my character is aware of what's happening yet. Although, I
think all this activity would be obvious.
I can narrate what's going on. Like
I was just gonna say, I had always anticipated that if we ever came back to this scene, I was gonna have semi-automatic weapon at least.
Yeah.
So let's say I have that if possible. Other than that, yeah.
Well, who has the trank gun?
I would think you would have the trank dart because the other fellows got the.
Sorry, I forgot. Sure, that's gonna work. Sure, yeah. I'll take a trank instead of the semi-automatic, but I guess. Yeah.
Why not both?
I'll have that. But
your first shot is the poison.
What are you? What is your what weapon is in your character's hands right now? You have the other hand holds. You have the other weapon holstered, but what is it? The dart gun or the semi-auto rifle?
I'm also not sure which I would have had for I can roll the seat.
It's your choice. I mean, it's the
trank gun.
Okay, yeah. So you have the trank gun in hand. There's some broken windows from the windows you boarded up, so you can take a shot right now, or you can spin the round aiming at it.
I'll spin the round aiming.
All right, you spin the round aiming. All right, so that's everyone's actions.
Sand check?
Now, you already rolled a sand check to see it. Oh no, you haven't. Yeah. So yeah, you have your night vision goggles, so you can see it.
I made it 31 under 70 something. Okay.
All right.
It's
right? Yeah, it's 3.
Okay.
That's
it's
really
giant.
good to make that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here. All right. New round. It sees. Let's see if it sees you. Peeking through the window. Oops, that's a D10, not a D100. It fails. It does not see you. Cool. So it is approaching the house, and it gets right up next to the house, and it is going to, well, do something next round. But it is purposely moving. It doesn't realize it's been detected yet. So that is your one advantage.
It's gonna have to miss the next 20 or 30 rolls, and then we'll win this.
Yeah.
So Thrall, it is right up against the back of the house. And you can see its legs now. It's too tall to see its torso or head.
Okay, I'm gonna throw the bomb out of the window and blow it up.
All right, that is an athletics check. Yeah.
63 out of 80. So I made it.
All right, where are you aiming at? Like I said, are you aiming at one of its legs, I guess?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
That's a leg. Give it a leg up.
I will say, yeah, that'll work actually. Go ahead and roll lethality for 20%.
90, so that would be 90 damage.
No, it's a 90%, so it's a 9 and a 10. If you roll 20 or less, it would have instantly killed it. But in this case,
Hey, 19 damage hopefully is useful.
It does hurt it quite a bit. So you blow off one of its legs, it slams to the ground. You hear the creature, all the fleshy things around you, a chorus of leathery whispering and hissing. Their vocal cords don't work really well. So yeah, that's disturbing. So it's on the ground, but it is still writhing around. But yeah, you really fucking heard it. So good job, Dr. Royalty. Are you still just like watching in horror?
Not in horror, because I'm trying to remain calm and not feed this thing further. I will comment to the others that it still appears alive. Try the trank gun now while it's down.
Okay. Carl, I assume you're hanging back too.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if it's down and if it's not coming in, then I'll happily help shoot it. But let's see if the trank gun takes it out. Maybe a nice, shot.
Age of Dungeon, you get your aim bonus plus 20.
Yep. Okay, 45 under 70. Yay.
All right. Roll D10.
I got that.
This is a straight up D10 damage to this thing.
3. Woohoo! Yeah, I love rolling D10s today.
It has 2 hit points left.
Do bullets affect it? We're about to find out. Or
Yeah.
Fire affected. We're about to find out.
Well, it is going to lash out at you with its psychic powers. And it is going to target Thrall because Thrall threw the bomb and stuck his head out in order his arm out, so it could see you. It can see. It's now on the ground, so it can see in the window and see all of you. So
arguably, some of us are far enough back it can't. But
so here's the thing, Thrall. You have to make a current willpower times 5 check, and I think you've burned a lot because you had to resist. Now here's the thing: you can sacrifice 1 HP to gain a plus 10 bonus to this check, and you can sacrifice as many HP as you want. As psychic as it basically uses psychic power to light up your nervous system with pain.
So sacrifice 3 hit points to get plus 30.
All right, so yeah, willpower times 5 with plus 30.
So I have 9. That will be 45. So I have 75 points. And I shouldn't do that because I passed anyway. 23.
Well, you partially resisted as your eyes and ears start bleeding. Your nose, actually, you start getting a nosebleed. But success means you can act, but you have a negative penalty on all actions as you can power through it. But you can power through and next round act and negate an entire act normally by taking another point of damage. So yeah, you're just you're hemorrhaging blood from your nose and your eyes, and as you feel like you're on fire, but you can still act. You're not totally paralyzed. At this point, you can all see a huge horde pack of fleshy dog things start charging you all from the tree line. So they'll be here soon. But that's everyone's action. So you can only target one person at a time with the induced pain ability. So Thrall, you can act. If you want to burn another willpower, you can act without penalty. Otherwise, you act with a -20.
Okay, I'm burning my willpower point to 8.
Okay. So are you going to, well, it's hit points, not willpower.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you I guess you have your flamethrower. Do you want to use that?
Obviously.
All right, heavy weapons to not set the house on fire.
4 under 70.
All right. Well, it is vulnerable to fire. I specifically said it is vulnerable to fire. So and
We have made some right
2 hit
calls.
points.
yeah, and it is, I need to put that on here. It does kill it. Because that it is let's see here. Fire weapons work normally.
Thrall, you are my new favorite agent. Good job.
He's pretty good. He's been good before. And all he does is keep sacrificing his bonds.
I mean, that's all of us.
So with that, there is a psychic backlash as it dies. The servitors all die. The pack of dogs collapses in a fleshy pile around you. You can hear screaming around you as the residents get psychic feedback from the death throes of the creature. And well, they might survive. They'll have to make checks to see how much damage they take.
Yeah, I'll run around and do wellness checks afterwards.
Yeah, but there's a lot to clean up. But that's another team's. You confirmed the memo and you stopped the vector. Yay! And you only lost one agent. Yeah.
Sorry, I think you mean sacrificed one agent.
Yeah, that's true.
Same thing.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
the same
I
thing.
don't know that it was an intentional sacrifice.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't sacrifice him to the entity.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
a bonus.
I mean, if you'd failed that athletics check, you would have been totally fucked without.
Oh yeah, the 19 damage really did work there.
Yeah, it had 24 hit points, and
that was
it is
good.
extraordinarily resilient to anything other than fire and the black blood. And so yeah, outside of literally a flamethrower and black blood weapons, this thing is very hard to kill.
Well, to be fair, then,
yeah,
Bale dying saved us because Thrall came with a flamethrower.
it's true. He did.
I think I was going to argue that we have to have someone here with a flamethrower, or we're not trying.
Yeah.
Because we saw the bullet effects, and it was not sufficient.
Anyway, we've killed a beast. Do we
You
get
did.
sanity back from that?
Yeah, you get 5 points back.
Okay, you can only go up to your max san, right?
Yep.
Back
I'm
back
to
to
max.
it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I think I'm
All
close to-
right.
Well, you made a lot of checks, especially when your fellow agent died and everything. So
Yeah.
and yeah, so yeah, this is Darkfield. This is a shorter version of it. You can run a version of it where you don't like the longer version of this is that you run it where there's something the hook is something weird about the neighborhood, and then you investigate it, and then you uncover the memo as part of the investigation, and then you realize you need to do something. This speeds it up because you know that there is an entity and how to kill it. So
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
so
miss
it's
out
like
on a lot of the interactions, like going to the residents and talking to them, which
Yeah,
yeah.
would have taken ages if we'd done it to all.
yeah, actually,
Right.
one of the
That's why.
residents was uninfected. The woman on the porch knew something weird was going on and was fighting a war against the creatures.
With her pets?
Huh?
With her pets?
No, she was the one with the no
No
trespassing sign.
trespassing. Yeah.
Oh
the
yeah.
one-
Yeah.
I asked if she has a shotgun. Yeah.
Well, she did have a handgun under her newspaper, so.
So, Ross,
Yeah.
So sort of this session was really cool and stuff. Just a quick GMing question. If we had how would you have chosen to do it if we had gone to one of the other houses and played around there first a lot?
I mean, it depends. Like, I've written up all
Yeah.
of them in the scenario, so it depends on who you talk to and how you. There's only one who's unredeemable, and that's actually the driver, the white van guy. If you had approached him, his nerve cluster was on his throat, and it morphed into like a shark jaw. So he's actually a cannibal who picks up roadkill and hitchhikers and eats them.
Oh boy!
So he's the only one that can't be saved. Everyone else, you can extract excise the nerve cluster.
Yeah. Can we see how many survived actually?
I will. Let's see here.
Just for funsies.
Well, Watcher obviously lived because she was not infected. Builder lived because you saved him. And let's see here. Let's see. I guess it'd be a con times 5 check. I do have stats for all these people, so let me find their stats. The hoarder. That's the newspaper windows guy. He is a hoarder. He only has a 35% chance. Because
I'm pretty glad we didn't open that up, honestly.
He was actually a very nice person. You could have talked him into and helped him. The only problem is he would have asked you to let's see here. He wants to get rid of the rat infestation in his house. So if you go in there and trap and kill at least one of the rat-shaped servitors, you can convince him to help you, for you to help.
Nice. But yeah, no, I just have an aversion to hoarding.
Sure, it's not great. Oh, he dies.
He
critical fail. Oh god.
Yeah.
Actually, the shock, forces him to fall into one of his stacks, and it falls on him.
All right, Busybody, the one peeking through the window, she lives. Driver, I'm just gonna say he definitely dies because it's in his throat.
Which one was
his
that?
throat started.
The driver of the white
anymore.
van.
Cannibal
plumber.
Yeah, who is a cannibal? Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only irredeemable one. All right, let's see if this caretaker lives. Caretaker lives. She's the one with all the cat lady. And then angry guy. Let's see if angry guy lives. He probably lives.
I thought angry guy was the one with
He
the
does
van.
not.
He does not. No.
House number 10.
Yeah, the anger issue guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more
the broken
sense.
window. He's yelling at people and that kind of thing. So, yeah. He died. But
it's better than it could be.
What was number 7?
Empty.
That was one of the
empty.
Yeah. That was one of the empty houses. So, there's a write-up for each of them, and you can approach any of them, obviously. And Watcher actually will help you. And although her no trespassing signs are there for a reason, she put concealed bear traps on her front lawn, backyard lawn. She's actually killed servitors, and she actually has black blood in her mini fridge.
Darn it!
Yeah. And if you made some alertness checks, you would have already found trail cams on there. She's already taken a photo of the entity. And
that's a vector.
Well, we're doing a wellness check afterwards anyway,
Yeah.
so I'll be quite surprised to see her well and up and wondering what the hell is going on.
No, she's very glad that that the creature's been dealt with. But like, I kind of figure most people would want to talk to her because she's the only one out there in the open, just kind of hanging around. And
I will admit, she gave me bad vibes.
I expected here to
Somebody
shoot us as soon
out
as we
and
could
about
go through
when
that.
there are these birds sitting on the roof.
I think really what it means is that we need to sign her into the program as a friendly.
Oh yeah, that's the real answer.
Because we can't have her talking about this.
Yeah.
Because we're not sure if it was the area that was wrong or just this thing that was.
So here's the other
there.
question: is if this thing is dead, does that mean the area is no longer negatively affected?
What about the junkyard?
Is it really dead?
I mean, that's left to the GM. Like,
I'm just saying it could be a good real estate investment now that the place is going to be okay.
I mean, yeah, probably. Like I didn't specify what the entity is, where it came from, or its origins.
There could be an Indian burial ground there that's causing all of this.
Well, yeah, it could be a genetically engineered thing. It could be an alien from beyond time and space.
I mean, why not all of them?
Yeah. So the main thing is the reason why the entity is putting these nerve clusters on people is that it is transforming them into new entities. this is how it reproduces. And
Oh.
it was
Did
going
it
to send
finish anyone?
No, not yet.
Good.
Yeah. Driver was the closest. He was going to change soon.
And so basically they have to be around it long enough to get infected in the first place?
Yeah, basically the servitors, the dogs or the birds or the rats can like plant it on it, or it has a psychic suggestion power for people who are asleep or not paying attention, and it can just make someone sleepwalk in the backyard, then it plants it on there.
Yep.
And then they don't know they're blind to this thing.
Aw, it was lonely.
Yeah. And well, it was just going to spread to the other neighborhoods, and then then in a couple of years it would have doubled in size.
I mean, LaFontaine's not had any other problems over there. Oh,
Yeah.
They have perhaps one less problem now.
Now they have one less problem. It's fine. It's all
And none of these were full of stuff from that ice storm. So that's good.
Yeah. So just another body horror thing in the middle of the Midwest. So but yeah, I'll post this tomorrow on the thing, and you can read the full write-up. But I just put
cool.
What I just heard this term brownfield. I was like, what if there was a version of that for supernatural fucked up shit? This is this land is bad because it's bad. And so but I am recording an actual play. I've already recorded the first part. That'll be early access next week in Cthulhu Eternal. And it's going to have Rob from the Orpheus Protocol, V from Queen's Court Games, and Max from Relatable Roles. And they're a team of cryptid hunting YouTubers.
Oh God. Okay, so that's why not Delta Green. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that version, they got the photo that the Watcher sent to them anonymously. So they just were checking it out, and then they went to the junkyard. And when they went to the junkyard, they found the memo as some unknown organization was studying this and then abandoned it. And now they realize, oh God, it's fucked up. And they went to Brawler and managed to fight off some dogs long enough, the dog-shaped servitors long enough for them to excise one of the nerve clusters from him. And that's where we ended the session. So we're going to finish that Tuesday. So it'll be a 2-part game. So you can run this fast or draw it out more as depending on how quickly they get the Darkfield memos. Here's how this thing.
Yeah, you've got a lot of options with this thing.
Yeah.
Not a surprise, but yet another solid scenario, Ross.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I thought about making it like an official SCP thing, but that was the vibe I was going for the Darkfield memo.
It was very control-esque.
I will say, if this had not been Majestic 12, that would have been even funnier, because that means there's a third organization.
Oh yeah. That would have.
And that's why Handler Smith is so harried, because oh God,
there's a whole other thing. That font I used, the title font, I actually looked up what font they used for Control and found a font similar to that.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's specifically aping Control for the graphic design of it. And of course, the cover art is by Trevor Henderson. He drew the monster. I commissioned art from him, and he's the creator of Siren Head. And so, I was very happy to get that commission. And he's fine with me using it for RPG things. So yay.
Yay.
But since it's stat in Cthulhu Eternal, it's pretty easy to convert to Delta Green. It handles lethality. Like most of the differences between Cthulhu Eternal and Delta Green are like how it handles character creation, and lethality is a little different. At least like how it gives monsters resistance to lethality, and that kind of thing. But other than that, you could look at the numbers and just run it straight up at Delta Green or call it Cthulhu Seventh Ed. I like Cthulhu Eternal. It's a pretty fun system to run in. So probably in the future scenarios will be modern horror scenarios will be done in Cthulhu Eternal stats, so you can run it whatever you want. So
I mean, even if you're using DG, they don't have to be government operatives. So
yeah, that's true. But fair enough.
Which also justifies having to go back in there, even though you're wildly incompetent with combat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also need to know you shouldn't call in too many people.
So like other hooks would be like a wellness check, like the players are told to go check on one of the residents and help them out, and then of course they encounter all the fucked up shit, or they're cryptid hunters, or they find the memo itself. It's and trying to prove its claims. There's a lot of different angles to get the players hooked. But yeah, it is my longest scenario so far. Yeah.
I foresee
For the
this
yeah.
Fortunately, this scenario will have a lot of plausibility. Like the idea is horror ripped from the headlines or whatever. This, yeah, kind of our future, our everyday and future now. Certain
Yeah.
neighborhoods no one wants to go
Yeah.
to.
Oh yeah, I know. Like a busybody, she's like a Karen HOA kind of person yelling at people. But her nerve cluster has tentacles that will lash out and attack you.
Oh, good.
So they're all fucked up in slightly different ways, and you just chose like the worst way to approach Builder. If you just kind of like gradually, I don't know, didn't drug him without his consent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I decided that since he was already clearly ill in the head,
Yeah.
it would just be.
You
easier.
just didn't know it would waken the Frankenstein that he's psychically linked to.
I guess that's a Servitor variant, and he's gotten it because he's worked at it.
Yeah, just the cluster kind of feeds into their obsession. Like Brawler's cluster makes him bigger and stronger, and Driver made him, a cannibal monster, and yeah, so they all kind of do something for it to one degree or the other. But yeah, it's a flexible format or a flexible thing. You can kind of do this. But anyways, I'm glad you all had fun. And if you want to play this, go to patreon.com/rppr and you can get this. It'll be posted tomorrow, Monday the 17th. So yeah, and I'll be posted about it, and we'll have actual plays of this on the podcast. So but yeah, thank you all for playing, and thank you all so much for supporting the RPPR Patreon. And check out Technical Difficulties Podcast. I'll probably be on an episode.
Whatever you like, honestly.
Yeah.
We do run more than Red Markets.
Well, I getting to play Red Markets from getting to play Red Markets, not run by Caleb, is a novel experience for me.
There you go. Ethan is kind of. I mean, actually, Ethan and Laura, now they're all good.
Yeah. Ethan has run for me before.
He
He ran Black Death for us at Origins a couple years ago.
Oh,
so,
Black Death
yeah.
is good. Yeah, Black Death was good.
Yeah.
Which one was Black Death?
That's the medieval one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That was actually how I got started on the pod. Is they needed someone for the Black Death RM kind of testing that Ian from RPX wrote, which was just fabulous.
Nice.
The most cinematic moment I can remember is all these rats of unlifelike rats streaming out of a thing, and we were just like booking it for the edge of the tap.
You love it when they're unlifelike. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah. Thank you for